Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's Outlaw Radio on a Monday night, live from the basement. Welcome to the show. We have not been on since last Wednesday, so we got a lot of build up, right? I don't have to say no Diddy after I say build up, right? Like I can get away with that, right? Welcome to the show. It's Outlaw Radio, man. My name is Kevin Barnes. I am the host of Outlaw Radio, the architect of the People's Network and the People's News Network. And I'm so happy to be able to just even wield this gift from the Lord above. So welcome to the show, man. This is what we do. I'm not alone. I don't even know. I'm not good with fractions. I'm gonna call this 2/3 of the fourth. I got my people with me.
Right? Be like 3/4.
3/4.
I said I don't do fractions, so I'm glad y'all can help me out. Yeah. Mr. Carter, how you doing this evening, my brother?
Hey, I'm well, man. I'm well. I'm just coming in from the garden, so I'm super well. You know what I'm talking about? How y'all doing out there? Welcome to Outlaw Radio, where we talk that talk and we definitely walk that walk, raising vibrations and elevating thought. Y'all better come on in. I'm trying to tell you, I am the black woman lover, the black man's brother, the culture, teacher, hood healer, the ghetto witch doctor. Hey, Mom! They're gonna see most man! Let's get this shit cracking.
There we go. There we go. Support black business. Support this brother. He's not a businessman. He's a business man. Right. Welcome to the show, Kamar. How you doing? How you doing? We'll get into all that good golly. Molly. I want to say welcome back to the show to the Juice Lady who has been absent for a couple weeks. What's going on, Juice Lady? How you doing?
I've been absent for a couple weeks now. I just was missing last week. That was 1 week.
Oh, you like an MPS student. You never come to class.
Don't be acting like that.
You got a truancy rate, right? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. How you been doing?
I had a question for Kamar. I want to ask him, when did he add the CMOS man? I don't know if I want to call it ad lib or just the ending. When and what made you add that to the end of what you say?
I don't know if y'all know Butterfly, right? Her kids, like, they used to see me all the time and be like, hey, there go the CMOS man. Like, mama, there go the CMOS man. You know?
Right.
And then I was somewhere else. Or no, I think I was reading something. And it said, hey, mama, there go that man.
Right.
There go that man again or something like that.
Man,
so I put them both together. And I came up with that idea. It was like, I want to say right around the time when I started putting the teas at the Sherman Park Grocery. And I did that thing, that live right there in front of the Sherman Park Grocery, and it just came out at the end of the title.
Okay. So that was your first time reeling it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's been doing that, but he's been doing that on the show here now for, man, it's been some months because
well, she mean the CMOS man part.
That's what I'm talking about. The added, because I had to, not to give myself credit, but I had to add the air horn to it to give it more snap. I'm just saying.
Don't add
Respect the host. Respect the host.
Well, I blew it up. I added the lights.
I remixed it. I put some paint where it ain't, man.
It wasn't for me.
Right,
If somebody bring it up to you, can't you hear me hating now? Like, oh man, shit, nah, that ain't shit, man. I'm the one who told Kumar to do that shit. You see, I put your sound effect on it.
Hey, Courtney, and then the whole name piece, right? That came up one day on the show.
All right.
We had another partner, Jay. He used to be with us.
Oh,
and they used to come in. Kev would do his intro, and then Jay would come in second, and both of them had these slick lines that they would say. Yeah. And at the end, I'm like, hey, y'all, I'm Kamar. Man, look, I looked at him one day. I was like, you know what, y'all? Fuck that. Fuck that. I'm finna write me one up too now. Y'all ain't finna keep nailing me like that, man.
It was funny. That shit was
Hey, look,
funny.
if you can find the show, you see me actually there on the show working on this motherfucker. We was all in the studio. By the end of the show, I had it together. Damn near.
I don't know if we were visual yet. I think we might have just started being visual when that happened.
Was visual. Oh, you talking about Outlaw Radio though?
Yeah, I think because you when you came, I already had the cameras and stuff set up. Yes, it was. I do remember that show, and I remember he was like, "Man, I'm finna have mine." And then next week, you bust out being the black man brother and the black woman lover. I was like, "Oh shit, this brother's a rapper." Real, what's going on, man? How you doing tonight?
I'm good. How y'all doing?
We good.
And we chilling. We was here on time, you know, doing what we do.
Oh, for sure. I'm definitely glad y'all was able to do that, you know.
About to go James Brown and start finding niggas. You were late. You gotta find. Can't find somebody unless you pay them though. So I do realize that. In this situation, it'd be like borrowing money. Like, come on, let me borrow $5. Here you go. It's a fine, nigga. Be on time. We got our chat room already popping, and I neglected to say that we do have a chat room, but we also have a phone line. So if you're tuning in for the first time, or if you're a regular, first of all, the phone line is like going across the bottom of the screen. And there's a Cash App down there too. If you really want to pay attention, I'm just saying. But so call in or get in the chat room. Because it's Outlaw Radio, it's live from the basement. Like I said, I don't know. I guess I get kind of like verbal blue balls when I don't get to come on. So I'll be talking all night. But this is what we do every week, Monday and Wednesday. Some of us do. I mean, I do. I don't know about nobody else on the show. They be having other shit to do sometimes. But
oh my gosh, what is wrong with this guy?
I'm on some bullshit. Look,
no, I'm talking about Dion and his comments.
Oh, I thought you were talking about me. Let me catch up to you.
Oh my gosh.
So he said, Kev, what's going on? He said you put the setup back together. I had to. I have no other choice. Because if not, I wouldn't be able to do the show, right? Like, so I had to unpack this shit and put it all back together. But it actually helped me because I had some wires that I shouldn't have had, like cables that was around just cluttering. So it helped me out. So shout out to y'all. And we're going to talk about the reason why I had to unpack. Jesse Parrish, he said, peace, Outlaws from the Mile High Income and Flooded City. Shout out to you and Shabaka. Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced. Said, great job on Saturday, Outlaws. I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna get to it. Well, that's Che. Shabaka will be on. That's Jesse Paris, aka Che.
Hey Jesse, my bad.
Dion said motherfuckers didn't get no CMOS samples. And then him and Courtney have an issue in their relationship because he's giving a vomit emoji. Now, why can I see Dion's emojis, but I can't see Erica's? That's weird.
His are via YouTube, so hers on Facebook. So
okay. He said he was doing that to the Juice Lady. All right.
Damn.
Right. Shay said, "Welcome back, Juice Lady. We missed you."
Thank you, Shay.
He said, Dion said, "Why Courtney is it important? Don't worry about why bro say he the CMOS man. Wow, he at your neck early. He's at your neck early, real early. All right. Drama, tension. Yes. Amir Zakir, how you doing? He said, peace, y'all.
Peace, family.
Today's topic, what great question, right? What is the topic on Monday? The topic on Monday is everything. Because we haven't been on since last Wednesday, so we're just gonna kind of run through things that have happened, catch up on current events and things like that. So it can be, it's gonna be probably the hot button topics. But it's going to be hot button topics that are pertinent to foundational Black Americans. So we talk Black people stuff. So that's usually the topic of my show, Black people stuff. But welcome to the show, my brother. Thank you for tuning in and checking us out. Dion says, Courtney, they had some pearls to Boy, I'm not reading that. Lord have mercy.
See?
Going hard.
See?
At Cinco de Mayo. I wouldn't know anything about that. I'm a foundational Black American. I don't know anything about Latino holidays. Yeah. Oh, John Fletcher in the chat room. He said, "What up, family? Let's go." Yes, sir. John, I got your website up, man. When I take these comments down, I'm still rocking with you. And it was a dope conversation that I'm gonna talk about it. He said, "Be right, Kev. Be right here with you." I don't know what that means. What does that mean? Kev, be right. So how do we support others, but it's not reciprocated? Ain't that always the case with us?
Yeah.
I keep telling y'all we give away more power than they actually take. Think about that statement. So, first of all, let me shout out to Kamar Carter. I want to get his brother's props. He had his event Saturday, Wellness Our Way at the Sherman Phoenix. And if you wasn't there, you can catch the next one. It's just the first one. But my brother, I want to give you your props because putting anything together is hard. And so to be able to run an event or just coordinate an event. But I do want to shout out Crystal Ship too, because Crystal was dope. Crystal,
Man.
like she was dope with the how we rocked with the our spot. And I don't know, just we had the tightest spot in the building. Outlaw Radio had to. It looked
Man,
great.
listen, hey, it's a whole backstory to the crystal thing. It's a whole man. That was a whole blessing when I had her there, man. For
Yeah, she
real.
rocked out. She rocked out, no doubt. She said, Kev, you got 14 interviews. I said, what?
Yeah, she
What?
a master organizer.
And
Yeah,
she had them written down and she was sending them in. Boom. You good? Yep. Next person. 3 hours, man. And I want to say the audio, just because I'm not my setup is not really mobile. It's set up to be in the studio. So I had to put all this shit and then go. And I know people was looking when I came in with these bags with all this shit and like, what the hell? He's never gonna get all that shit put together. So it was dope though. And if you listen to the show, I don't know how many interviews, but the sound eventually I figure it with my board and it gets really dope. King Kamazi, shout out to all of them. Man, Jamila Riley, my sister Cheyenne, with was it Mystic Gypsy with the
Mystic
vaginal
Gypsy.
products, and Dion, shout out to Dion because Dion was live on the air with me. Totally unscripted. Never done it before, but he was very excited when Mystic Gypsy said, I do Yoni's themes. He said, Yoni, huh? But shout out to you, Kumar, man. Shout out to you. It was a dope joint. I mean,
Thank you.
That's Kumar.
Thanks, man. I got to give a shout out to Crystal too, man, because she really I had no clue on what I was missing, but when she came, she fit right into place, man, and took charge with those duties right there and did the hell out them duties, man. She, you know what I mean? She took charge of who was coming in and out the door of the show, you know what I mean? Had everybody in order, on paper, and man, it was just dope. I told her about the different events that was going on. She wrote it down and she got it down. And everybody that came in there, she greeted and told them about everything that was happening in there, what to look for, what they could do. And, she got the businesses lined up to get interviewed and scheduled them. It was, man, yeah.
Yeah, she did
Shout
her
out
thing.
to Crystal Ship.
And shout out to Rail. Rail was there looking like Black Elvis. I'm joking.
Yeah, Rail did a hell of a job with that class, that emotional intelligence class.
Yeah.
Can't wait to the next one.
Oh man, it's gonna be next time. You'll see. Because one thing it did, honestly, is that I forgot. I used to do this shit mobile. Like I used to go places and have people around me. It was fun to be live with people again.
Right.
Because Dion did a good job. I just couldn't get him to have microphone discipline. He wanted to, and I'm like, dude, you killing me. And I said, Dion, you gotta get closer to the mic. He says, oh, you want me to have fellatio with it? But he was dope though. Shout out to
you. Should have said yeah.
Just
to see what he do, right? You should have said yeah.
I would, if he did anything like simulating oral, I would have just cut the machine off and came home. I would have left. Like, what the fuck, man? Amir says, is anyone aware of what's going on with North and South side of Milwaukee right now? There's some talk about some beef because a young black male, I guess he was on the South side or whatever, and he did something with the cart, one of the, the Mexican or Latino vendors. I don't know. I've seen kind of splashes of it, but I don't know the ins and outs.
First, and then I posted it in the People's Network, the apology video. And then it made me wonder what happened. I happened to go on Instagram, but then I saw the video. They were supposed to be having, I guess, a video shoot. And maybe they were already on the South side and they was running around playing with his cart and tipped it over. And then then it made me think, like, damn, they got on his ass. That apology video, they must have hopped on his ass. So
they didn't beat. Did they beat him up or?
I don't think they beat him up, but the fact that that you're doing this apology video, like within, I feel like that video shoot had to been. I don't know if it was yesterday or if it was how long ago, but it was recent. And I also posted it because the dude in the video was saying that he was the Black Panther and the first Brown Panther. So I didn't know if you knew about that. So that's why I put it in there too for you to check out.
I'm familiar with the Brown Panthers. I don't know this individual. I don't have up to this point, I have a dog in the fight. To be honest with you, I seen this, but I want to say before we even have a discussion about it, how stupid do you have to be as a Black person or a Latino person who feels like, oh, it's on with us. Like next time I see a Mexican, I'm gonna shoot him. Or you from the north side? Oh, I'm shooting you. How stupid would that be? Not saying it won't happen, but it would be the dumbest, most asinine, reverse momentum, dysfunctional, counterproductive thing that has ever happened. Like, I mean, it's like that's stupid. So anybody who's on that right now, stop it. Stop that shit. That's some dumb shit. Don't even rock with that shit. That's all I know. Shout out to the Juice Lady for being informed, because I am not.
But it might be some other stuff. We might not be that informed. It might be, who knows?
Who knows? Right. I seen
Right.
I seen Vaughn do a video about it. And he was talking about he knows the young man and whatnot, and it wasn't heinous or malicious, like he said. It was playing. Yeah, were they playing too much? Yeah, it was playing. He tried to turn the cart and it fell over. Not like he just went up to him. And so that's how I very just surface understanding of it. Shout out to anybody out there who can provide us more insight or detail. Jesse said, very informative and dope event, Kamar. Thanks for putting that together. Shay said, yeah, the audio could have been better and you got it down eventually, Kev. Oh yeah, man, I ain't gonna live in a mistake. I'm moving eventually. He says Dion had me cracking up during that Mystic Gypsy presentation. Yeah, man, Dion's is hilarious. He don't even try to be funny, and he's hilarious. Said, yeah, he had me dying the whole day, and he did a great job. Said, Shay said, shout out to Crystal Ship and Rail as well. Yeah, Rail, Rail getting his feet wet, trying to get up out here and do some things. Rail, you moved some merch, right? You did okay.
Yeah, sold some books and everything, and then real shit, I had some of that CBD left over, so I was like, let me try this shit out because it's THCA, and I haven't tried that yet. That shit had me so high, I was like, okay. It was up there with the shit I done caught, from other places.
Okay. Put some heat to it. It turns it turns into something.
It dropped that A off.
Yeah, real quick. Kamar, I gotta ask you this though. What did you learn from this? Your experience?
What did I learn?
Yeah.
I learned to create contracts with the radio stations.
Okay.
To make sure everything get done the way I want it done. Because it didn't quite get done in the manner that I wanted it done. Like it was like a verbal agreement instead of, you know what I mean? So I know it's like some stuff I got to take more charge of.
Okay.
And something like that is one of them. You know what I'm saying? Like that commercial on 98.3, I was supposed to have it running all the way up until the day of the event. But instead they ran all the commercials in 1 week, like 2 weeks ago. You know what I'm saying?
So you didn't know, you didn't understand like the layout, how they would do it.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what I mean? That a lot of it though, you know what I mean? I feel like a lot of it was pretty natural because I vended so much. I vended so much and I've been to so many different events. It was just, it felt surreal because I felt like I was really moving in my purpose, right?
Mm-hmm.
And my purpose is to spread this whole holistic demonstration through to the community, and to help others do the same thing that I do, same type of work that I do, So with this event, I was able to do that. You know what I mean? I was able to help people who do the same type of work that I do, bring attention to their businesses, bring attention to them. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully next week, everybody will be able to do even better.
The only thing I would say is I think you need to just find some time in your schedule and do actual meetings. Like when you got an event, like, because thank God everybody just kind of came and just was duh, like it went right,
Mm-hmm.
but we didn't really sit down. Like, I mean, I came to you said in our
Right.
group,
But you know what I mean? But that was kind of the purpose for, you know what I mean, just that little quick thing when I was like us, you know what I mean, respect. I mean, each person, you know what I mean, come down and see so you can get an understanding of what you finna be doing or where it's gonna be at so you know what you need, or you may get some ideas of what you want to do. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
came, we met. You showed me
yeah,
my shit, but I didn't know that's the only detail I knew about anything.
right.
That I'm gonna be there in this room. And you said I'll get you a table, which you did. That's just how it was. I was like, I learned who the vendors were by doing the interviews.
Mm-hmm.
Because I wasn't in the main room.
Hey, I felt like that would be kind of interesting. I thought you would kind of like that. You know what I'm saying? Like with interviews coming and you get to just meet them right there on the spot. Like I
I
I
mean, you was
thought you would
right.
like it.
Yeah, you
Huh?
was right. You're not wrong. I had a great time. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just for constructive purposes. I had a great time. Shit.
But you know, but as far as that though, like I really didn't know exactly who was gonna want to come get interviewed, or you know what I mean. So it was kind of hard. That's why Crystal was able to get a piece of paper. But I think Crystal took it even farther and was like, well, you know, we could. Her vision was even bigger. Like, well, we could talk to even more people who come in who we know who own businesses, and you know what I'm saying. Like that could be a whole thing right there.
Probably could have talked to more people if I was there on time. I was actually very late. Would have to say that.
Well, you know,
I was very late. I said I'll be there at 10:30. I don't think I got there till
right?
12
It was
o'clock.
like 12.
I thought you wasn't paying attention, Kamar.
Yeah, you know, the only reason I know is because I think was that me and you, real? Was that us talking, or was that Dion? And I was like, Kevin should have been coming, but he said give him a half hour. And I looked at the phone and it was 12 o'clock. And then you happened to call right after that, right?
I know. I was down in that class at 12.
Oh yeah, that may have been Dion who I was talking to.
Yeah, because
And I
Dion
said,
beat me there.
Kev should be here any minute now. He said give him a half hour.
Man, I had a situation at home I had to deal with.
Hey, look, but that's how time was moving for me,
Yeah.
though. You know what I mean? Like, just steady moving.
Yeah. Dion said he enjoyed the whole show. I had a great time. That's what I'm saying. Right now, what I'm looking at is playing with our format a little bit. I mean, people don't like. I've been an innovator when people wasn't innovating, because before anybody even knew what to do with this shit, I had cameras down here simulcasting, and then I mean, starting just from when you couldn't even see me on Blog Talk, you just heard us, and moving into setting up
Hey,
a
you know
whole
what would be a
thing.
dope aspect?
What's that?
If he was able to get a speaker or something that we could sit outside the door and people could actually hear what's going on inside of there. That would be dope, huh?
It's a lot of different ways it can be done, but I'm just thinking, come on, I'm talking about even our show here.
Right.
Like we after COVID, I have to say I'm one of the first ones that said, "Oh, okay, I know how we could do it. We'll do it virtually." And we was on Zoom, right? And when the
Mm-hmm.
whole world was shut down, we was still doing the show every week. I did look like Chewbacca because I hadn't had a haircut. Everything
Hey,
was closed.
hey, but hold on though. How about during that time though, where you held the show down by yourself in the studio before we got the Zoom? Like I was amazed. Like, man, this nigga is talking for like 2-3 hours straight by himself. How the fuck do you do that?
Well, no, it was okay. So yeah, I had forgotten about that. I
Look,
didn't,
he
because
forgot
yeah.
about it. Like it's just that easy. You know what I'm
No,
saying? Like
it's
I
been
just
so long.
forgot
Come on,
about
that
it.
was a long time ago. That, you know how long ago that was? That
Yeah,
had to
I
be what,
remember. Yeah, I
5,
know.
6
But
years ago.
look, and
And
part the
so
reason why I remember though, kid, remember when I first did that show by myself with you, but when
yeah.
I did it by myself, and I'm god damn, like my show lasted 10 minutes.
Those shows are actually on YouTube. You can
Mhm.
go and I can go and pull them up. It's like
Yep.
300 or 400 shows on YouTube. And
Somewhere in 2020, in the beginning of
yeah, at first,
2020.
because I didn't have the virtual, and that nobody could come to the studio.
Right,
So I'm like, then I was trying to get y'all to call in and all kinds. It was crazy.
right,
It was
right.
wow. And I said, fuck it, I got an idea. We'll Zoom it. Check this out. I want to start the show off tonight because, like I said, I was listening to that Vaughn, and I heard him say something very important. He said, those of us with platforms, we got to be careful with what we say about kids, like to our young people, right? And he was saying because they hear a lot of this stuff, and we wonder why they don't respect us is because that we don't respect them. And I was thinking about that statement, and he referenced the JP incident, but just that thing and saying even how, I guess the response from us, us old heads to him and his bisexuality or whatever, what have you, has been mostly negative. I mean, come on, bruh, stand up. A lot of us traditional brothers are like, oh man, that's some bullshit, right? Like, and so we talked about that on the show. And I thought I had said that I was extremely happy and proud of his success as an artist and like really putting Milwaukee on the map. And I did say, at least I think I did. He's a very talented young brother. And and not that they would listen to an old fart like me, but if it sounded kind of caustic the way I was speaking on his, I guess, sexual preference, I had to say this. Y'all got to understand, I'm a man of a certain age. You have to understand this. I want to make this, like Shabaka said, I want to make this very clear.
Mhm.
I'm fucking pushing 50 years old. I'm 48 years old. You understand what I'm saying? I was raised in a different time by different people in a different culture with different norms, different expectations, different morality. It is fucking night and day now as opposed to how it was when I grew up, right? So I'm raised by a man who was raised by a man who was raised by a man, so on and so on and so forth. So you're gonna get the fatherhood in our family, good, bad, or indifferent. And I wasn't trying to shit on a young man at his moment. Not that I could or that it would matter, but I do have a platform. And you've even heard me say and Kamar say what we believe would be a resolution to this reckless driving and some of this wild crime shit is locking motherfuckers up. Young, old, short, tall, light skinned, fat, skinny, buck tooth, no tooth, bald head, scallywag. Kamar said it best last week. If you're in a community and you're doing some fucked up shit, you can get the fuck out the community respectfully, right? Like, we don't need you. You are counterproductive. And it just so happens that, thugging and me mugging is a young man's game. I've worked with so many young people as a mentor, as a coach, as a teacher, as a father. So I got love for the young bros, but the young bros got to get on code. The problem is we haven't been present enough to teach them what being on code is. So what you have is a group of young black males who are suspect to anything. I'm gonna tell you something about being a black man. You cannot be for anything. You can't be a rainbow nigga. You can't be a tether nigga. You can't be a kinda nigga. Ain't no such thing as black-ish. Either you black or you're not. And as a black man, you are required to carry yourself in a certain way. Why? Because there's so many pitfalls and traps out there that are set up for you. So you gotta have focus, man. You gotta have vision. You gotta have understanding. You gotta have some knowledge. You have to have some class. You have to have some integrity. And when I see you in a community and you are totally against receiving that, you've said, "Oh, well, fuck, dude, I ain't listening to that dude. You can't tell me shit. I'm gonna do what I want to do." Then you deal with the circumstances and you deal with the repercussions with whatever you get. So whether you're young or not, I love y'all young people. But y'all got to get right. If you're saying, well, I'm this way because the adults above me wasn't shit, well, then that means you recognize their errors. So why are you going to do the same shit? Sorry, that's my soapbox for tonight. With the JP thing, and not that he's even doing anything bad that will hurt the community. Once again, I'm more worried about the impressionable young black men who don't have daddy, who don't have a father raised by a father raised by a father. And you just trying to find your way, and you see somebody who you admire, you say, "Oh, here's a dude who's a rapper. He put the city on his back." It was a little uncomfortable for me for your message to those young men to be, hey man, if you want to have sex with another man, it's all good.
Hey, but you know what, don't care. He didn't. It ain't like he really just offered that information up.
Right.
Right.
They was
You
trying
know
to
what I
expose
mean? First,
him.
it got leaked first, and then the thing is, it was the people where he was getting into. They asked him about it, so they actually, you know what I mean? He didn't offer the information up.
He just
Maybe,
stood on what he do.
maybe, yeah, you know what I mean? Maybe he could have worded it different, but that's just
He
on him, though.
absolutely could have worded it differently,
But
and it's
but
his
that's him.
responsibility.
Like,
No.
I mean, but why? Why
you
did he
don't
have to
have to.
word
You
it
don't have
I'm
differently?
to.
gonna
Hey,
tell you why. I'm
you
gonna
don't
tell
have
you
to
why.
watch how he talk to me.
He
like
don't, because
that.
you an old man, but he's influencing a bunch of young men.
He living his life.
Hold on. The minute if you want me to buy your record, you want me to buy a ticket to your movie, you want me to come to your game, don't turn around there and say, I'm not a role model. Don't look up to me. That's bullshit. And we all know it. If you're known and you're a celebrity and you're an entertainer, young people are going to look up to you, and a lot of them are going to imitate you. Now,
He told the truth.
I like what Kamar said. Maybe he could have worded it better, and that's his choice. But when you ask a 48-year-old man such as myself, I'm going to give you my truth.
So is he just out here telling dudes to sleep with dudes?
He made it. If you listen, once again, I don't.
I mean, I just saw it today.
Again, I seen it. I seen it when it first came out. First of all, it was on No Jumper. If you live in the podverse, you know No Jumper is one of the biggest podcasts. It can make you, as an artist, to get on there and have an interview. Like I said, the whole energy around, oh, I didn't get cracked. I was doing the cracking. And everybody's like, oh, that's cool. He's like, yeah, I cracked this little dude. And yeah, wasn't nobody going to do nothing. It was a brodiness to it that made me uncomfortable.
Well, don't blame him if they were the ones
He
hyping that shit up. He just
There's a million different ways he could have answered the question. He didn't have to go there. He could have said, man, okay, everybody knew about that. I'm here to talk about my music. It's whatever. Everybody already know. Go stream them videos. He could have said something smart.
Kev, he young, Kev. How old is he?
He's 20-something years old. And I happen to be acquainted with the young man because he trained in the same gym that my son did when my son was younger, playing AAU basketball. He's a good dude. He's funny. He's charismatic. He's talented, obviously. But when you start playing with young men who say, oh, man, because, how many of us really did start doing crazy shit when we start seeing our favorite celebrities doing it as young men or young women? We almost all did.
I did. I didn't fuck about what they was doing.
Well, you was on some other shit anyways, according to you.
Wasn't none of them
You was already
like,
you had to be influenced by something. You wasn't just nobody's born bad. Nobody's
like that sometimes.
It comes out the womb still in cars. You have to be influenced.
It was mob movies and shit, maybe. It was hood movies. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? But it wasn't music.
Same difference. Even if it's a movie, it's the same difference. It ain't just about it being rap music. It's any movie star, celebrity, whatever. Look at ask any older brother who was young when Superfly came out. How many brothers changed their whole life from seeing Superfly? When the Mac came out, how many brothers said, I'm finna be a pimp? Changed their whole life.
They needed somebody to follow.
Have an influence on our youngsters.
That's for people that need somebody to follow. Like I really didn't steal cars because I saw somebody care. I saw them because I wanted to.
You had to learn from somewhere. You didn't just invent a car theft technique.
No, I didn't learn it from anywhere. I like driving and I wanted to drive more.
So you
found ways to do it.
You got in the car and peeled the steering column for the first time.
No, I took people's keys. What you mean? I'm not doing all that. I'm gonna take your keys and I'm gonna leave.
I don't know if this is something
my car now,
but I get you. I hear you. And if you know what, if you go out right now and you having a symposium and you talking to a bunch of young women and you make that look cool, I would have a problem with that. Like, don't be feeding that into their head like that. Talk
just
about
telling my goddamn truth of what I did and what I was going through.
Let me get my.
Like, well, she could have said it different.
Hey, I feel like
could have said.
Like I said it the other day. For the most part, like it don't bother me really that that's what he did or whatever. I just hate that it's just in a whole agenda out here, period, that's hyping that shit up. Like the whole No Jump the podcast, like they didn't even have to bring the question up.
Yeah.
If he was on our podcast, I wouldn't even ask the question. You know what I'm saying? Like I'd have just stayed away from it because I know it's a whole agenda out here.
So strategy is strategy. Then we gotta be more mindful of how we move. I mean, what makes sense? What makes sense makes sense. I
But
think people want to kind of straddle the fence a lot, and I just have
that will be for somebody who moving with integrity, though. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people ain't moving with integrity. They just want that clickbait. So other podcasts will ask that question because it's a triggering question for the audience.
Just
So
before we could do what it did.
right.
No,
So you
we
know
could
what I'm
have the
saying?
conversation on Outlaw Radio, but it wouldn't be conducted in that fashion. He would be able to tell his truth for what it is, and then be subject to whoever had an opinion via the chat room or on the phone, because he definitely would have heard me say to him face to face, okay, man, but for me, I'm more worried about the young brothers coming after you who hearing you say this, because whether you understand this or not, this is not a normal thing. We don't want to normalize this. I don't want to normalize young men thinking.
That's why I wouldn't even bring it up.
Exactly. You want to do all that?
But if we worried about the young folk, you know, I said it before. If we worried about the young folk, why is the responsibility on this dude and not the parents of the children to make sure they're not listening to the podcast or the music?
It's not his main responsibility, but as a celebrity or a public, it's like saying, okay, it's cool if the mayor spend all the city money and get a stolen car and drive off into the lake. Why is it his responsibility to be moral?
Those
He's
criminal activities. What
those
this
criminal
dude like
acts,
is what
man,
he
that's
like.
It could be too if you rape somebody. If he's a big, what he said was, because he's 6'5", so he said, yeah, and what nobody gonna do nothing to me. Then it became threatening. I felt uncomfortable. So I felt like
nobody gonna do nothing to him. He
right.
said,
Well,
like,
it sounded like if he wanted it,
decision.
he said, I want you and I got to have you, and I'm gonna get you. Let me catch Mama Jenkins. Mama Jenkins, you see, I'm on some bullshit early. Fuck it.
We don't want to
she said, good evening, my outlaw family. Let's make it do what it do. It looked like the police chief forgot his words when he was giving his press conference concerning the shooting of the police officer. Yeah, y'all was dope and things got better with time. I was impressed with the worth of information that was given out. Practice make perfect. So let's make it do what it do. I hope to come to the next one. That will be dope. Mama Jenkins, I'm gonna have that apparel for you too when you come to the next one. She said, teach these young folks and some of these older ones always. Jesse said, no jumper is the feds, just like Vlad. He said, cancel Adam 22. Shout out to John Gillis. I haven't seen him on before, but he said, but being attracted to the same sex isn't crazy shit or a bad influence on the youth. He said, but being attracted to the same sex isn't crazy shit or a bad influence on the youth. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, I am a masculine heterosexual male who has a son. Okay. And I feel like in a lot of situations, homosexuality can be damaging to our community. Because first of all, it prevents the extension of legacy, right? We want to build a black community. But that's a different issue. My thing is, it's just like myself, carrying myself in a certain way, especially to young people. I don't romanticize and I don't really push negative things on them. I don't. And it's not his responsibility. I think people I'm not saying he's their daddy, but if you can go in front of a bunch of young black brothers and they all hanging on your every word, you know, I feel like you don't need to be telling them about how cool it is to make love to another man. Dion, you on the line? What's popping? Do we got him or did I lose him? What TR should say is my flip phone. Okay.
You hear me, Kel?
I got you now. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
I got you.
All right. I definitely feel what you're saying, and I respect it. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because like I told you when we was kicking it the other day, I was in Huntsville, Alabama. When that lady seen my ID said Milwaukee, Wisconsin, the first thing she said, "Do I know Cuckoo Cow?" I said, "No, I don't know Cuckoo Cow, but I know of Cuckoo Cow." You understand what I'm saying? She was talking about his music, my projects. Now that's way down there. I'm talking about when I say literally that was the first thing she said. That was the first thing she said. So now I'm not gonna disrespect the young man. We got this young man out here that's supposed to be putting Milwaukee on his back. When I go places, my guy, I don't know about none of y'all. I'm representing Murder Mill. I'm wearing Milwaukee Bucks clothes. I'm wearing Milwaukee Bucks Brewers. I'm Milwaukee crazy. You understand what I'm saying? I don't want to be nowhere and they be like, oh, Milwaukee with that fag ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, because people will say that. I'll be like, bro, I don't. that nigga don't represent nothing like us. You better look at Pimpin' Ken or somebody like Milwaukee, a money getting city. We mac on hoes and slap and slam doors though. You know, I'm just saying though, you know, Pimpin' Ken, you understand what I'm saying?
I don't know
For real, I mean,
he
he ain't
either though, Dion. I don't know that Pimpin'
yeah,
Ken's for the kids either.
I'm just saying, I want to say Giannis or them losing ass Milwaukee Bucks. You understand what I'm saying? Like, because you also got to understand though the type of people. When I see people where I be ingrained in the street culture. So I'm gonna bring up people that's notarized and has notoriety for certain things. You understand what I'm saying? I can't be like, oh well, we got an African American mayor named Cavalier Johnson, and we got David Crawley, and he's the whatever he is, the county superintendent, whatever. And
exactly.
You know, we got a black chief. Yeah, we got a black chief, and you know, we got Russell Stafford and Lele Cox. He didn't, you know, I'm not talking about that. I be talking about hood shit. You understand what I'm talking about? And you know, I mean, you know, so I definitely could respect what you said on that notion. You know, like Kamar said, basically, he could have worded it different. He didn't have to get in detail about it. It is what it is. People know about it because may he rest in peace. They said, I don't think you know him, Kev. Kamar, you might know him, White Boy Bill. They said it was a movie out here with him. Woo Wop the Band. I never seen it. I don't indulge in no homosexual activities. I don't even like to see it when I'm watching TV. I fast forward it, and if I see it enough, more than one scene, I'm just gonna give it a thumbs down on Netflix and move on to a different show. I watch old shit, you know, like Archie Bunker and the Jeffersons and Perry Masons because I like living like that. And then I also understand the MAGAs. You know, we need to make America great again because this what's going on now. And I don't care what people say. Like, I look at it like this. Whatever you do is in your personal life, that's your personal life. I respect that 100%. But what I don't like, and I heard a gentleman on here say it before, don't push it off on me. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay. I don't want that pushed off in my life.
Okay.
I don't want to be able to go in the restroom and there's a man in there that's dressed like a woman. That ain't, you know, it makes you feel uncomfortable.
So first of all, let me shout out John Gillis because I like his I like what he's saying right now. I do. I don't know what he's going to say when I catch up with the chat, but he says, I want to make this point. He said being attracted to the same sex isn't crazy shit or a bad influence on the youth. It's not crazy shit.
What?
It's not. I'm trying to get clarity. He said it's not crazy shit to be attracted to the same sex. Okay. What I'm doing right now is I'm attempting to have the difficult conversation about this. And I don't want nobody with no surface understanding or involvement. And it's very hard for you to speak if you're not from the black community. Understanding if you're not a black man. See, a lot of stuff, and I'm not saying John Gillis is or isn't. I'm saying, and I hope he is, if you're not a black man, you don't really get it. You never will. You could never comprehend it. So when you talk about things that have been done to us to limit us, to inflict like dysfunction on us, sometimes over influence of what they call it, debauchery and compromising your moral code, that's what they do to you as well. Now, Mama Jenkins says, let me catch her. My chat room said, teach. Okay, I got that. John, shout out to Fletch. He says, facts, LOL, guilty from Mac. LOL Superfly classic. Yeah, brothers from the 70s, no? From the 80s, you know, when they sing Boys.
That's a different culture, see?
Like, hold on. Let me, John Gillis says, respect to your perspective, but youth risk of depression and suicide is a really sensitive issue. This representation isn't violence. Violence towards youth is the problem. Okay, we're talking about different things now. We're talking about different things because how have we automatically equated depression and suicide with homosexuality? So you're saying, oh, it's so many of them that's in the closet, they just killing themselves. That in itself tells you that this is really, really effective when we start talking about mental health. If you're dealing with this, it has to be kind of like an issue mentally, or you wouldn't be depressed. You wouldn't be, because overall you feel like I shouldn't be doing this. Sometimes when you feel like you shouldn't do something, you shouldn't do it.
You shouldn't be doing it.
Okay, now hold on. Let me catch the chat room. Jesse says that part real, and I'm not looking for people who agree with me. Believe me, because it is what it is. He said he's on some Fleece Johnson booty bandit mess. I'm not. Listen, first of all, I can't say it enough times. Shout out to this brother. I am super happy. I'm super proud of his success. It's just like any rapper or artist I follow, though. When I see him do something that I don't agree with, I speak to it. It ain't personal. It ain't personal at all. He said, yeah, healthy power dynamics are necessary. That's your concern. And I agree. Thank you. Healthy power dynamics. Like, we don't want to get into, I don't want to live in a world as, oh, there's no genders. There's no gender roles. No, as a man, I can be. No, there's only one way to be a man, and that's to be a man. And I don't think men should have sex with other men. It's just my opinion. Mama Jenkins said, well, next month I'm going to Boston and to Harvard University graduation, and I'm wearing Outlaw gear. Oh, my goodness. That's going to be a dope look. I like to see some pictures of that. Mama Jenkins at Harvard with the Outlaw Radio gear on. Jesse Paris, he said, Dion is a MAGA. Dion is a little bit of everything, right? I don't know. Gender dysphoria, Kev. Now, Real, you was trying to get in, and I was trying to finish the chat room, so I apologize.
Oh,
so,
yeah, it's all
go
good.
ahead.
No, I was just gonna say how it's cultural. Like real talk, like, you know, shout out to Dion. He said he don't want to be somewhere and they associate Milwaukee with this young brother who spoke his truth. But honestly, I get more triggered when I hear motherfuckers call.
I get triggered when your shit freeze.
Hey, he fell off.
He was just finna make a point too, like message.
Oh, he gone.
That boy chopped his screw. Vince said, "I thought y'all had enough of this last week. We're not gonna extend it to that length like we did last week."
That's Vince Tony, because
yeah,
he'll be on the hot spot for 4 days. Talking about shutting them down. He's still on it right now.
5 years, 10 years, 12 years since '92.
He my guy though. Shout out Vince. Shout out Vince.
No. I think people
Yes,
just
sir.
totally misunderstand what I'm saying, and I think it's easy to kind of like create some hype or like try to feel like I'm saying something that's disrespectful or wrong. I think most men, most of us, like I said, I'm a man of a certain age. We feel the same way on this issue. It's just that everybody won't say something about it because they feel like it's not worth my trouble. I just spoke out against it. It doesn't mean I have anything. I did say it's going to be hard for me to listen to the music now, just like it was with Frank Ocean. So this ain't just with him. I can't rock Frank Ocean right now. As soon as that song comes on, I turn it. Right. And I guess it's just a shtick in my head. I got an issue. Real, are you unfrozen now? He froze again. Look like his school picture.
Well, I'm gonna say one more thing. I'm gonna get up out of here and listen, right? And that's just like I was telling you months ago when we was talking about this when the transgender man came in. See, I don't want. The thing is, what they're gonna try to do, they're trying to destroy black masculinity. They've been trying to destroy us forever. And you have to understand, believe it or not, it's a lot of white folks, man, that really don't have contact or interaction with black people, man. I know that's hard for y'all to believe in this world, but it's true, man. What? It's a lot of white people that wait. Hold on, let me finish, Kev.
No,
I'm
what
gonna
you
get off the phone.
mean we don't know that it's true? Well, we know exactly it's true.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying though, bro. It's a lot of people that really believe that. So the only thing that the white people know of us and they perpetuate our imagery is drug dealers, gangbangers, murderers, anything negative. Now they're going to try to destroy the black masculinity. We're trying to promote us as homosexuals. I don't want to be somewhere and a white person think that I'm that type of guy, because I'm not. I'll beat the shit out of you. I'm getting older and all that, and I ain't got time for that. So that's what they're trying to do. And it's a lot of times that a lot of people fall into this. Look at Nas X. It might be, and I believe some of these guys, man, might not even be homosexuals, but they gay for the pay. So I'm going to hang up. I'm going to finish listening to y'all, man. I definitely enjoyed this weekend. It was some beautiful, beautiful women down there, man. Beautiful. Oh, my God. I can still taste the bottom of my lip. But I'm going to catch y'all, man. I'm going to hang up and I'm going to listen. Love you, Bull. Love you, Kel. Love you, Real Juice Lady. You know I got to give you the business always. To grab some of them pearls, though. But I'm gone, though, man.
Boy. We put a cap on this one, Kamar. I was just trying to make a point that I'm not in any way against this young brother, or, I'm not against young people living their lives and making mistakes, but I do believe in the power of influence. And I think especially anytime we can turn on the TV or look at our phone or get on the internet and we see somebody who looks like us, we're automatically locked in. Foundational Black Americans, we locked in. We want to know. That's what this whole Drake Kendrick thing then turned into. It's like what you see on the screen, what do you hear coming out the speaker? It influences you. I feel like I like this artist because we got something in common, or I can agree with some of the things he or she says. So we can move on from it. Like I said, I liked what Vaughn said about it, and I do have to be mindful because on this show, a lot of times we be like, lock their ass up. These kids need their ass whooped and stuff. But we've also been people who said we don't believe that whooping ass is the only way to teach kids because that's some slave owner type shit. So, it's all over the place like bird shit. It's called Outlaw Radio, man. Who knows? Depending on what mood we in. Now, Real, you was finna jump off the cliff and you kept freezing and it was your first day of school.
That was my Wi-Fi. So I got on my cell phone signal to see if that's any better. Okay. But all I was saying is just, I think it's a cultural thing. It's an age thing. I mean, I'm not okay with motherfuckers thinking of Milwaukee as Murder Mill or Milwaukee. Like, so I view those just as horrid as somebody else would view the association with this young brother who spoke his truth. Like, I don't understand why it's okay for people to see us as gully or killers or murderers and shit like that. But then, but not feminine. It just reminds me of this girl I used to fuck with back in the day who I stopped fucking with because of how she was raising her kid. Because she would let her 4-year-old son talk back, bump past her if he was upset, all kind of have tantrums, but she was on his ass if he cried. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, okay, so you reinforcing that the only good emotion is anger type shit. So like in my mind, I just understand that everybody gonna have different perspectives and everything ain't gonna be taboo to the same people. Cause again, it's cultural. Like you said, the Mac and Superfly. Yeah, I gravitated more towards that. I wasn't no Nino Brown type dude, no one to get out here and push rocks, but I do love women. I like to be loved by women. So that was what I gravitated
to. Influence though. Something influenced you. Nobody's, like I said,
right.
A newborn baby is pretty much a blank slate. They have what they have as far as their DNA, or they have that their heredity, but they're not born no babies too saying, yeah, I'm about to go rob me a store. There's things that happen around them. There's influences. There's influences is external. Kamar, what would it be internal? Like once you get influenced by something, you have an internal reaction to it. So we talked about being in survival mode. Remember that? And so if a baby has been in this environment, this caustic environment for so long, yeah, they grow into this. I'm on survival mode because my mom and my daddy on survival mode. But the baby wasn't born bad.
Right. Usually the things you learn, you know what I mean, it come out later when you get old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that seed is planted with those traumatizing acts or whatever it is that you may have seen. Right. You know what I mean? But then later, as you get older, it tends to come out. You start acting it out. You know what I'm saying? The result of.
Because now it has influenced your behavior. It's the environment. People say product of the environment. Your behavior is influenced by being in that environment. Like it's adaptability, right? And that's what I'm saying. I just worry about all the negative stuff. Well, you made a good point, but I'm gonna be honest. I'd rather be known as a tough city than be known as a feminine city. I'd rather brothers say, man, you get your ass in Milwaukee.
I don't give personally, I don't give me myself, I don't give a shit what the city is. I know what I am.
Yeah, but
you know what I mean? Like people can call it what they want. I know what I am. Like I remember back in the day when I used to go around, travel a bit, you know what I mean, from city to city and everything. Milwaukee used to be known as the shiesty city.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They'll steal your shit. Nigga, motherfucker will rob you. And this was other cities, like in Atlanta. That's how they thought about people from Milwaukee. You know what I mean? But I never took no offense to that. Like that ain't me, but I never took offense to it.
But okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay,
so like even for me to go somewhere
like you gay, and you be like, "What the fuck is this shit all about?" And they be like, "Well, I heard Motherfuckers in Milwaukee is gay.
they say that about Atlanta. But every
It's
motherfucker
true.
still love to go party in Atlanta and kick it, and you know what I mean,
I've never been
go
to
to
Atlanta.
Bankhead and shit. And
I said it's true. You see how quick a motherfucker jump in? I ain't never even been there. I said it's true.
I'm just saying though, like they say that about that city, but it still ain't took nothing from that city.
Right. Little
I
black
didn't know
man.
a
You
lot of
see
people.
what I'm saying? Like motherfuckers still go. Motherfuckers
Well,
still love to go to the
It has
ATL.
taken some things from it because I've even heard people who are from there say this shit is out of control down here. Like it ain't even where I grew up at. I'm from here. I've heard individuals from there say that. Like, nah, man, it's not. It does.
I imagine it's something.
Like I said, I think so. I get what you're saying because you got to be yourself. But
I'm talking
I don't
about.
want to go anywhere and have anybody like treat me with certain assumptions because of what they heard.
Well,
so I was like, well, I'm gonna treat him like he gay because I heard all gay people, all people in Milwaukee were gay. So I wouldn't want that.
My thing with the ATL, I'm talking about like everybody on the outside of the ATL, like here in Milwaukee, right? Motherfuckers like they gay as a motherfucker. They call Lenox Mall the gay mall and shit. You know what I mean? But motherfuckers still go to it. But what I'm saying is like people here still say that, but they still love Atlanta.
I got
you. See what I'm saying? Like they still go. Like I'm just saying, like I don't take no offense to it because I know like shit like that don't take from the city really.
Okay.
You know what I mean? If the Bucks gonna win the championship, they still gonna win the championship. They ain't gonna. You think that they gonna not win it because it's a gay ass city? You know.
Well,
what I'm saying?
if three out of they starting
Don't
five
win
is
it.
gay, then it's gonna be an asterisk by the championship.
I don't know. Well, I mean, I ain't talking about.
And I guess for certain people, it'd be like that gay shit ain't bothering you. Like I loved Atlanta, and that gay shit was equivalent to the gay shit here to me. I mean, to me, it's way more gay shit.
You said you used to like to go to the gay bars and dance. So
I did that here. I did that here. I never did that there, and I only did that one time. I only did it one time because I wanted to hear a particular type of music. It wasn't because I just wanted to go to a gay bar. I wanted to hear a certain type of music and dance.
I thought back in the days when you first came on, you used to talk about like you would go to gay bars.
No, I didn't. I've only been one time here in Milwaukee.
Oh, we thought
and that's the only one I've ever been to.
Oh, okay.
The one here.
Hey man, shout out to gay people, man. It's everything comes down to is you gay? Like I don't, that's pause, no Diddy. It's we look at this thing with the gender war. This is the gender confusion. I won't say gender wars with this man, what's his name? Who's the swimmer? Leah Thomas, who had swam with the women and broke these records and won an NCAA championship. Now the NCAA is saying, no, we're not going to recognize any record you set. The Olympics is like, no, you can't try out. You can try out as a man, but you can't no longer compete against women. So it's not like this ain't like a real issue in America right now. How many different genders do we have right now? I was watching Cat Williams today, and he was talking about it, the YouTube Netflix joint.
Hey,
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, like we talking about this, like this issue about this swimmer and everything, and this is one of the big reasons why a lot of men don't want to hear no other man talk about what he's doing. You know what I mean? Like, because it kind of seemed like he glorifying that shit too.
It's putting it on the pedestal. I mean,
and that's not cool. You know what I mean? And that's why I say with me, it's more of being upset with that agenda. You know what I mean? Where it's okay to push this shit. And, we live in a hypersexual society. You know what I mean? And that shit ain't cool. Like, I remember a time when you barely would see people kiss in the mouth on TV.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now you got people on TV, same sex kissing and all this type of shit. You know what I mean? I just feel like people should keep that shit in their own home, whatever the fuck you do. If you got a wife, you got a wife at home. If you know what I mean, if you got a husband, you got a husband at home.
Right.
It ain't nobody business what you do. And I feel like that's kind of out of line for that podcast to even be asking dude questions about his sexual life. Like that's kind of gay in itself.
Adam 22 is a porn star, though. He's married to a porn star. They have sex on the show.
I don't care.
But you're saying, no, it's their norm.
Maybe it's bisexual gay.
That's the kind of show it is, Kamar, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's the kind of platform it is where that's going to definitely be a big part of it. That's what they want.
Well, see, and then like I say, that agenda. You know what I mean? I'm in agreement with you. I'm just saying this is an agenda. It's more of an agenda is what I'm upset with. You just said yourself, like that's a podcast where that type of shit be happening.
Everything, gang
Like,
members,
you know
like
what I
that
mean?
was
So
me.
you had to understand that they was gonna connect, and you know what I mean? So it's a whole agenda that I'm upset about. It ain't him and what he do.
I
You
got
know
you.
what I mean? It's just
Got
that
you.
all this shit is for they force feeding us everywhere you look with this shit and trying to make a motherfucker accept it.
Adam 22 is a very like he gets criticized. Like he has real like they've had situations where law enforcement had to get involved because he has gang members. He promotes that part of our culture very heavily. And like I said, he's married to a porn. He's just a weird dude, just a weird white dude. And we have some infiltrators in our culture that we've allowed to kind of get in, like Vlad, him and Vlad, like these white dudes who all and Michael Rappaport. Is that his name? From Higher Learning, like white people who just think they got the keys and can just kick it, just say whatever they want. Like some of this shit ain't your business. Let me see this. As Dion, he said, "Bro, you hear that dude hit the?" Yes, I'm finna talk about that now. Sonya Thrower, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Mama Jenkins said ATL is the capital. We all know that. We all know that. But you know, like my brother say, people still like to go there. He said, "Bro, it's a whole community of gay people in Atlanta. For black ones, for black gay, homosexual people, I know it's really big down there." He said, "Well, people down here say you crazy because I'm from Milwaukee." They got the reputation of some of that shit is true about people from Milwaukee. She said, "Tell me why some men want to be a woman so bad." See, that conversation won't die.
How can we tell you that?
Well, no, she's just.
I know, but I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like, you with real men don't like that shit, man. Like, that's a question men shouldn't even be able to answer.
Okay, now we cooking in the chat room.
I think we would have to ask somebody who actually like men or
she
like
said, all I know
just like women.
I heard Nellie Fuller Jr. say over 10 years ago that the RWS would create 50 different genders, racist white supremacists, and the white man's anus was a new black vagina. He said, I was shocked then, and now it's real. Sonia, I got what you was saying. She was saying it like, you know, tell me why, like, you know, it's I think what they call it a rhetorical question.
Oh, okay.
Mama Jenkins said, last time I was there, I was tearful to see all these brothers straight up faggots. They let you write that in the chat room? She said, I was wondering what happened to turn these brothers out.
What the hell she want to say?
She said, she said 30 years ago, and it was growing, and I was wondering, is this what it grew to? 1 out of 10 are lovers of the same sex. You're talking about in Atlanta? Okay. Shay says, Kamar is speaking of the gay agenda. The gay manifesto from 1973 is being implemented in the 2000s. Vince Tony said, Kamar, that's real talk. I don't think children should be exposed to same-sex couples. As they age into real life, they will be confused about how to identify. Look, now this is not me extending this conversation, right? Y'all understand that, right? Like Kev did a whole show on gay people. This is how big a topic this is. People talk, like everybody has an opinion and input. So I just feel like this is what we do. We converse on the show. We have conversations, hard conversations sometimes. But shout out to Dion because that is a big story. That's a good segue. The 4-year-old sister who was hit in a hit and run and lost her life, and her mother was injured along with her, was hit by the boyfriend of her mother.
That shit was wow when I heard it on the radio this morning. I'm like, nigga, what?
The individual who was driving the car actually lived with the mother, along with the sister and the little girl. And the sister was in the car with him. Right? Don't make it less of a tragedy at all. It makes it more of a tragedy, right? I'm not demeaning and condolences and prayers to the families. But see, this is that dysfunction that we just talked about. We just talked about these kids coming up in these crazy, wild homes where everything is just crazy. And so this is the boyfriend. And they said, the police said he's been very apologetic and just crying and, you know, and he knew he was calling the young lady by her nickname. And the sister saying, well, he was driving fast and he tried to swerve, but he ended up hitting them both. So now people in Milwaukee, and it's me, I'm people as well, we're saying, bury this motherfucker, kill him, Put him in the water. Tie cotton gin to his leg, Emmett Till style. Not even knowing that this is like a family thing. Like if he's living with the mom and the sister's in the car, this is Sister Sledge. This is We Are Family. It makes it even more sad. Now, did anybody see the mayor's reaction? Because I keep hearing that the mayor came up and snapped. I didn't.
I heard he said some curse words.
That's what I heard.
I didn't seen it though. I want to see this.
Anybody who got that, please send it to me because I'd love to hear it. As he say, this darn rabbit has to stop. I'm just making fun of him, and I shouldn't. But yeah, that's crazy, man. That is wild. He knew the young girl, knew the young lady. So it's just, man, the ripple effect. One incident, whole family fucked for years to code, generations fucked. This is why it's so important to get back to real structure in our community and our families. I'm not saying this would have been prevented at all, but obviously this is a crazy situation. So it's a lot there. It's a lot to unpack, as Austin Doer once said on Outlaw Radio. Y'all can give us a call. It's 262-202-5131. Is there any more details about? Well, I guess that's pretty much it, though. Right now, it's open and shut. We know who the driver was. He's apprehended. Should he get life? This is concerning the fact that he had already done this in 2018.
This is second body.
Right.
That shit. Hell yeah, you should. You locked
up. Get life. Okay. I wonder if drugs or alcohol was involved. I wonder like this. Because I don't want to just say, well, this must have been a dysfunctional family and there was all those things going on. And people be like, nah, I can't be wrong. They actually went to church and was in the choir. And I don't know. I just wonder what the whole scenario of it was. I don't know if you will ever get that whole story until the trial starts. It's definitely a tragedy.
It's crazy. And then, like, me, I'm a person, I follow up and check your Facebook. She on her Facebook. She like, hey, y'all just stop posting about it. I don't want to see nothing about it no more.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
she don't get to make that call, though.
You just have to stay off the internet then. If that's you have to put your phone down.
Oh, lady said social media. John Fletcher said, he said this was some BS, but they blurred it out. Oh, he said, this is bullshit. Did he say bullshit like a black dude? Or did he say bullshit? This is some bullshit. Damn it. Vince said, I asked about Cavalier's profane delivery. She said he nailed it. I have not seen it. That's crazy. And then we had some other shit that we got involved in as Outlaw Radio while we was outlawing. And we brought my sister Aisha Carr on in preparation for her hearing for the school board meeting where supposedly there was an issue and some accusations had been made. And we had her on here, and shout out to her. She spoke very well for herself. I think she's a good sister. I believe she loves the kids. But then when the accusations came out, we found out that this was around recording people without their knowledge, and the accusation that she made, or the somebody said she said, I have a bug in the superintendent's office. And then there was an issue with where she lived once she was elected. So there was multiple issues. Okay. She was saying before she came on, like, I haven't done anything wrong. I don't know what it could be. I kind of believe she knew what it was before she went. Look, shout out to her. That was just a tad bit misleading. She's welcome to come back and she could explain it, but I mean, that don't usually spring that much up on you, but she resigned. She resigned from the school board. And the sad part is there's a limited amount, a number of black people on the school board. And she was one of the presidents of a district, and she's no longer there now. So this situation ultimately cost us somebody who looks like us in an important position. So I just thought it was crazy how it all played out. Kamar, I don't know if that was you and I, or maybe we were talking about it on the show here because people were at us like, and it's always like this because when something happens, we don't usually just jump on the back of it and ride it. Right? Like we've even talked about this, like when I interviewed Katie, and Rail was like, dude, there's a lot of opportunities for you to really put some clickbait out here and draw views. We don't do that. We don't normally jump on until we know what's going on, who's the winner, how in the third. And so people were kind of at us like, well, yeah. And I'm like, well, hold on, let's wait and let the story play out and let's see what this is all about. And so I guess my point is there's a benefit to not jumping out the gym as soon as you hear something, have an emotional knee-jerk reaction. Remember when the white boy who killed the sister Sade first was arrested, and it went all over Facebook. They don't let this motherfucker out. Black people ready to ride. Dion was talking about burning down Miller Field. we should ride for this shit. I'm like, hold on for you motherfuckers go out riding. Turns out he was never out. So, or maybe somebody tell me, Kev, don't believe what the white people told you. They just went back and got him because they knew we was finna snap. I don't believe that. I don't believe he was ever released. Y'all see that there's more information about him now, because we kept saying the racism in this incident was around the coverage. And you see now his arrest record has been released. He's been a disciplinary problem for most of his life. He's been arrested. He's had problems with drugs and alcohol. Comes from a wealthy family, had 2 homes. One out in white people world and one in the Milwaukee area. So, but he's been allowed to get on and get off and get off and get off. His daddy got the money for lawyers, right? I put it in the People's News Network. It was a Journal Sentinel article. It talks about how basically, much of a derelict he's been. And people say, no, he was a weirdo. Like he was a loner. I seen one person say he was just really quiet.
I couldn't know how the fuck that date got set up. How the fuck did that even get set up? Who hooked that up?
That's the big question. Why did this happen? Once again, black people had a reaction. Black man it was our fault for a minute at first. And then people talking about, oh, she was a prostitute and all this. It was like, dude, motherfuckers just go. They say when they come to shit that happened, they don't have to know the facts at all. I say they never let the truth stand in the way of a good story. So it's just weird to me that and then there's the rumor that some of this blood in his home was animal blood. So I'm thinking they're putting something's coming together. Like, is this dude a serial killer? Is there more bodies?
Hell yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It's weird. Because if
had they been finding other body parts?
From what I heard, and I'm not the most informed, Kamar, from what I heard, that the body parts that they found all belong to her. That's what I was told. What I seen out here in the news is that it was just the blood in his home that was animal blood. So I don't know so has he been murdering animals? Like, is this dude say how deep does a rabbit hole go? Right? I don't it's weird, man. And once again, there's a number of young black women who are missing in our community right now. And so it makes you wonder, because at first we've been told that it was sex trafficking. That's what the latest, like, we got to protect young black girls because they're getting snatched off, black women in general, getting snatched off the street for sex traffickers. But, we had a black serial killer here. Northside Strangler, Walter Lee Ellis, he's strangling prostitutes. So I don't know. We've had Jeffrey Dahmer. Does this city breed serial killers? Maybe we'll be known for that, Real. Are you from Milwaukee? And I heard all y'all serial killers. And some of y'all gay. No, I'm just kidding. You can ride that gay shit all night. No Diddy. Let's see. Vince said tad bit. I was talking about he's talking about Aisha Carr. I don't think she did it on purpose. Kamar, did you feel like she was like leading people astray? She sounded sincere, correct?
Yeah, I thought so.
Okay. I don't want to accuse nobody of nothing, because I'm just saying some of the way like I said, I got phone calls after the show from certain people, and they are insiders and they know a lot. So they were telling me certain things, and I was just like, okay, I don't know. I just wanted to support her because I seen her as a black woman who's, she's on the school board. MPS need help. They need straightening. They need something like. So Ms. Williams sent me a couple emails today about they want Superintendent Posey to resign. Okay, and at this point, with the way things are going, and with the fact that you just got this $252 million referendum, and you're still cutting people, and the fact that you went right at 53206 first and got rid of the crisis managers, the trauma coaches, whatever they were, in 53206, and you cut them first. And you had the nerve to come back and say, well, shit, the way it is, this ain't even enough. Wait a minute. Since when did $252 million from poor folks become not enough? As it stands, he's saying in a couple years they're going to need another one. Somebody got to exercise some fiscal responsibility, and I just don't think it's him. Honestly, I heard him speak. I wasn't very impressed. You know how you see somebody who got a position sometimes, and you hear him speak, and you say, "Oh, okay, dude is pretty smart." He sounds like he don't sound that smart to me. I'm sure he is. Okay, when I heard him speak because he just was talking in circles. It's that same political bullshit of, well, we made progress, our attendance is up, our scores are up, but our kids are struggling, y'all. They're having a hard time. Boy, it's all bad. I'm like, wait a minute, which one is it, motherfucker? Like, I didn't know what to believe, right? Like, it was like looking at Michael Jackson. Like, I didn't know which one was the real Michael after a while. Like, wait a minute, what happened to Mike? Why he look like a light-skinned girl? Like, I don't know. Vince said he was at the school board meeting and stayed late to hear what the board was voting on. I actually heard Ms. Cartel Lena Taylor that the board was accusing her of bugging the room they were in. So did they tell her when she got there, or did she lie to us on the show? Should I say lie, or should I say mislead? Y'all tell me which one I should use. I don't know. Just for the sake of sensationalism, like Real say, clickbait. She lied. Why she lied to us? Like, no, but she obviously knew, though. That's a little troubling to me. That's and I have the opportunity to reach out to her, so I'm going to do so. Not, just gonna judge her. But I just, man, when I said I feel like we got spent on the show. I felt like she spent us a little bit, because even when we were talking about stolen money, she said, well, it's not stolen, it's just missing. It's like, okay, damn, what happened, man? You know that $2 million I had? I don't know where I put that shit.
Yeah.
Just check the couch, right? I don't know where I lost it at. And so when I heard that, I said, that's very strange. That seemed like one of those political answers, like, man, I'm gonna just give you what I need for you to have or whatever. I don't know. Shout out to her, man. I hope she can come back. I hope she can come back and tell us what happened. Do anybody on this show know anything about these young people who are in college students? I should be asking my daughter, because I've seen her give props to them, actually. They are protesting against they're protesting against Israel, basically. And so they're pro-Palestinian demonstrators. And in some cases, they've been beaten, kicked around. They living in tents. We haven't even talked about this, right? We haven't even talked about what's going on in Israel, and because we kind of let it go. Is it a black people issue, though? I mean, should we care? Listening to Tariq Nasheed,
I think we got bigger fish to fry.
Do they care about our issues? Who care about our problems?
I think we
Why
got
we
bigger
always
fish
caring
to
about
fry.
some shit, man? We got plenty shit to worry about for ourselves.
We got personal problems, personal shit to worry about.
it's a lot going
More
on.
so than that. You know what I mean? Like, I think you got to look at it as far as priorities. You know what I mean? Like, what's more important in your life right now? Because we all battling something, and that's just another battle. Somebody fighting for them. I mean, that's they lane, man.
Young people are fighting for them. Young people look for shit to protest over too, though, right?
That's
Like,
cool.
that's their thing. That's what they do.
And
My
that's
old
cool,
life, they sleep in
because
a little
somebody
tent.
got to stand with the people, you know what I mean, or whoever they fighting with. Somebody got to fight with them.
But
No
anytime
matter what the cause is, whoever fighting, somebody got to fight.
that's one of them other things where they try to pin something on us. Like, well, from what I hear now, there's a lot of black anti-Semitism. Like, I'm like, where's what black people? Black people don't even be tripping on Jewish people,
And
right? Like, right? We don't. You hear white supremacists go hard on Jewish people. Black people, I'm like, black Semitism where? Anti-Semitism where? I was listening to Tariq Nasheed, and he was talking about, and he had all these news clippings on these programs of them saying that the black people, and they kept trying to build a case around Minister Farrakhan. And it was just like, okay, because Mr. Farrakhan has been critical of Jewish people. But like their thing was, because when we do speak about Jewish people, and we talked about this on the show, I asked the question. I even asked Real, where do these European Jews come from? And he said, well, they're Ashkenazis. And I said, what? And so that's why the minister says the so-called Jews, because he doesn't believe they have a legitimate claim, right? Is that anti-Semitism, or is that just saying, man,
Well, they try to say that's anti-Semitism, but it's like reverse. Because see, being this, you got to be from a certain that area, and that's our area, our original area. So how can we be anti-Semite? You know what I mean? How can we practice anti-Semitism when we are those people?
Right. That's our lane.
So those so-called Jews, he called them.
Right. And a lot of black people say that. A lot of black people question the authenticity of, their God's people.
Just like how in Egypt, it was our people that was there. It wasn't the Arabs.
Right.
You know what I mean? It wasn't them.
And people don't even know. It's crazy because I learned this from you and Rail, is that when we see these white people who are portraying Jewish people Egyptian people on movies, right? And we always be like, what the fuck they doing? The Egyptians was black. And then somebody said, well, actually, Kevin, they weren't. They were Greek. The black Egyptians were called, that was Kemet then.
Right. They were Kemet.
Right. I found that out on here. So now when people be like, man, the Jews, I'm like, well, the Egyptians, they say, nah, they actually is not black. They weren't. So which celebrity said he didn't want to go there, and he got in a lot of hot water saying, oh, the ancient Egyptians were black. And somebody said, no, they wasn't. And shut your ass up. And it was a rapper, one of these rappers. And he had to sit his ass down because somebody gave him a lesson. Like, dude, you need to understand.
Oh, that was Nick Cannon. He was talking about the Jews.
Was that Nick Cannon? He didn't want to.
Yeah,
okay.
And they took his show from him and shit.
And he apologized quick, didn't he?
Yeah.
Ooh, that motherfucker.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that apology pre-recorded. They played the tape. Hurry up. They had took Wildin' Out from his ass.
Yeah.
Y'all thought it was his show.
Right. Well, and it's crazy that it wasn't. That's crazy. Vince says she spent Lena, Vaughn, and the rest of them who went down there to support her. They didn't do their due diligence. I don't think they cared. And they should we care? Right? When it's time for us to go and support each other, shouldn't we support each other? I haven't heard anybody say anything negative about her in light of her resignation. People are saying, well, it's time for her to go to another level or do something else to advocate for our children. She wouldn't have no longer been effective in her position with all that's happened. I don't think she's a spin artist. But I do feel like we got spent. Can I say that? We got spent on the show, but I don't think she's a spin artist. I don't know if she, and she was honest in saying, now look, I don't even know if it's me. The word is that it's me. So she was honest to say that and transparent on our show to say, we don't. So then what did she tell them? If she said, well, first of all, I don't know it's me. And I don't know, man. I guess it ain't my business either, but it all came out anyways. But shout out to her, man. Like I said, I think she's positive. Leaders, there's missteps sometimes. Sometimes you thought you zig when you zag. That's just, she ain't like she stole no money. Until I find out she took some money from, she fleeced the school board for $70,000. Then I'd be like, oh, man, that's some bullshit. But keep fighting, my sister. Shit. I done lost a job before. I know how that shit is. Like, damn, I had to fuck around and resign. Well, a couple times I have. A couple times I've been walked to the car by security. Like, all right, Mr. Barnes.
Damn, Kel.
Yeah, man. Look, you got to fail to succeed. I don't know why people think it's all wins. They think everything, you must be, won everything. No, motherfucker, I've had massive L's. Shit, I done got fired on my 90-day review from a couple positions. And I'm in there surprised. Like, what y'all mean? I thought it was sweet. Nah, man, Mr. Barnes, we gonna walk you to your car. I got so used to it that at one job they tried to do it to me and I juked them. I juked the security guards. They couldn't catch me. I was already out the door with my shit. They was coming in the parking lot. I was pulling out like, fuck y'all. Shit, you ain't lived until you done got fired. You had to leave with some dignity and shit. Like they call themselves firing somebody. No, motherfucker, they fired you. Black people always be like, man, they call themselves firing me. Well, no, nigga, they did burn your ass. Like, Jesse Parrish in Denver, he says ceasefire. Oh, a ceasefire was reached today. Oh, for Israel and Palestine, was it? Okay. Said it's not our issue. A lot goes on that's not our issue, and we get ourselves involved in it instead of worrying about the shit that matters. Like Kamar said,
Man, everybody been.
everybody just all over the place. Just ain't even took care of our shit yet. Like, what the fuck you talking about? Jesse's agreeing with the juice lady. I don't remember what you said, juice lady, but he's agreeing with it. For what it's worth. I don't know. Hope that makes you feel good. Somebody agrees with you, right? It's always nice to be accepted, right?
Oh my gosh.
Mama Jenkins said, no, it's not our battle. We got reckless drivers and shooting one another. You know, slowly but surely the murders and that's creeping on back up too. That's the message for little buddy downtown, bro. You can lie, you can fake, but you know, it's like Tupac said, you and I know what's going on. Right? Like we live in this city. So when I see, that's why I was just tripping that so many people were amped up to vote for dude. I didn't hear a lot of people calling him on the carpet and saying, bro, you lying. Dude, what you haven't really done anything for the community. Maybe some microtransactions. I don't recall anything you've done that was like, oh, that's good, man. Like, what's your initiative? Maybe going into the next 4 years, he'll drop. I'm on my Obama clock again now because I sat through that whole first Obama term and I was like, okay, when he get real, he's just doing it now because he want to get reelected. That's what black people kept saying. When he get reelected, it's gonna be Black People Day.
Man, he down reelected. Wow.
He did less in the second term than he did in the first. I'm like, I didn't think that shit was possible. Like, you did.
He got a new desk.
Motherfucker got some Bruno.
He got a new desk his second term.
Michelle was out here. She was jumping rope and eating cheeseburgers and shit and working out. And man, that was a crazy time to be alive. But it was a good time to be alive during Obama's presidency because if you was black, you just felt better that we had a black president. It was a feeling of kind of like, hey man, we got a black president. And we didn't really think about, well, hold on. What the fuck? What did he do? People, I love Obama groupies that can come and list off everything he did, right? Shout out to y'all. And shout out to Barry. He said we had several protests out here in Denver as well as several arrests. Yeah, people getting their ass whipped by them young kids taking them nightsticks, man. For the Palestinian joint. Like
young kids taking them nightsticks, man.
Yeah, you know, college kids and fuck you, boop, god damn it. Just so he could say, I protested, I stood with my black brothers. And hand in hand, you didn't even have to get hit, motherfucker. You shouldn't even been there. He got an endowment though. He got a trust fund. He'll be all right. But you see them police when they say, hey, tear these goddamn regular ass tents down, and you don't come, you don't tear them down. They wait till y'all ass sleep.
Right.
Shit up. Fucking camping equipment everywhere. Fucking lanterns and shit. White people screaming, they gassed me. That was during the George Floyd shit. That was the funniest thing to me because black people, we protest, but within a certain hey man, here these motherfuckers come, let's go. White people, we're not going anywhere, damn it. Getting hit with rubber bullets and shit. It was crazy. I'm sadistic.
It's funny because it tickles me. It's like it shouldn't be funny, but when I think about white folks and running, it shouldn't be funny.
Man, it shouldn't be, but it is. Especially when they really get the police going and some of them be trying to run and shit. They falling like in horror movies. Hey, I'm sorry. I know. I got issues, y'all. If you know any good therapist, please tell them I need help.
I'm gonna be one soon. Just give me a couple years and
shit, but I'll be mental by then. You can't say mental no more. You can't say mental no more. I told y'all I'm almost 50, man. I'm trying to adjust to this new age world, man. How can Semitic people be anti-Semitic? I would challenge people to look up the word Semitic. Like, you got to do a deep dive on this stuff sometimes. Don't let them just throw words at you. You unmuting Kamar, you had something to drop. I see you hit.
No, I was just agreeing with him. I was saying that was my point right there.
Okay.
How can we be anti-Semitic people? Like, when We are those people.
Yeah.
It's referring to an area, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And that
People
area
are
is what they
certain
would.
people from that region.
And is that what they then in turn labeled the Middle East? Because somebody always tell me there's no such thing as the Middle East.
Nigga, that's Africa.
Okay. Okay. Right. See, people just go over there. Oh, he over there in the Middle East.
Like how, like how we grew up in school and they taught about Egypt, and then they teach about Africa, and like they never say that Egypt is in Africa.
Yeah, they teach it like it's separate, right?
You know what I'm saying?
And South Africa was its own country.
Right.
You know, they said
it's
South African, right? Like we go for anything, man. I'm sorry. It's black people, we just go, man. Like that motherfucker out of jail. Let's burn up Milwaukee. Like if we'd have set the city on fire, he'd have been in his cell looking out the window, like, what the fuck going on? Safest place you can be, right? He said, this is Vince. He says they're not protesting what's going on in the Sudan, which is worse than what's going on with the Palestinians and the Israelites. Okay. Well, somehow all of the tragedies that happen in Africa has always been just kind of, I mean, We Are the World, right? For Ethiopia, right? That was back in the 80s when all of the rich, drugged out rock stars got together and said, let's make a song. I've never understood celebrities asking us for money when something happens. Right, let's get together and do a fundraiser. Y'all got all the motherfucking money. Why are you asking us for money? Shouldn't it just be y'all like bidding and shit? I just never understood it. But people be calling in, oh, donate $25 to Paul McCartney. This motherfucker got Beatle money. He could save fucking South Africa by itself. I mean, come on, man. It's ass backwards for me. I'm sorry. Kaz, what does it say? How you say this? Somebody who know how to read better than me. Khazaran Empire? Is that African? I'm not up on my Africology. A lot of y'all is way more versed than me. Y'all ain't never heard of that one? Okay, well, fuck it then.
Khazaran, you know what I'm saying?
You made it Polish. Khazarovsky Empire. Get that shit off the screen. They said they're trying to pass an anti-Semitic bill through Congress right now, but nothing about anti-black hate crime bill or putting us FBA, DOA freemen in a protected class. Where's the anti-black definition lead? It's on us to create that though, right? But you're right. They are trying to pass laws right now to make anti-Semitism a crime. So like if a Jewish person go to a cop, I guess, and say, hey, they just chased me and called me a Jaime, you can get arrested for that shit. I think it's funny too that with all the shit that done happened to black people over the last 200, 300 years, it's still no laws against it, right? Like it's just, I mean, we had to come up with a bill to stop lynching. Do y'all know that? Like the government actually had to say, hey man, y'all stop hanging niggas. Like they had to come up with anti-lynching legislation. I just think that's weird. Like, so why aren't we in a protected class? Why aren't we? So we get our.
We supposed to get protected ourselves a long time ago. Let motherfuckers do whatever they wanted. Now it was too late. We can't fix it. We would have been busting motherfuckers in their head a long time ago. But oh well, here we are.
And I think it'd be less of us if we. I really believe we've never been in a position to fight them back. Like I believe we would have got murdered, just like wiped out. And I think they would have took pleasure in doing it.
You think so? Even back in slavery? You don't think back then we had a chance?
No, because people always point out where there was more slaves than, but these individuals barely spoke English. They didn't know where they were.
I mean, after a couple damn years, I feel like shit. Look, all right, at night we're gonna go in there and we're gonna kill the family. Look, and then we gonna niggas couldn't plan all that time because nobody planned.
What you say, Kamar?
It was a bunch of them that tried it.
Well, your man, Nat Turner, that's what he did. We gonna go in here and kill their family.
Niggas always snitching and shit. Look, Master, look. Right. They coming for you. They coming for you, Master. Look.
The aftermath of Nat Turner was like 240 some odd slaves murdered throughout the South, I thought. Like, because all of a sudden, all those slave owners were like, no, we got to teach these niggas a lesson and scare them. So yeah, I mean, they skinned him and cut him up and made oil out of his body. Like, they made a super example of Nat Turner. Like, man, yeah,
it was different ways. I don't know.
I don't know, man. You know, and then I think I have great conversations with so many people, intellectual black people. It might have been Kamar. or it might have been Dion. I think it might have been Dion when we were saying, so when you free these slaves after hundreds of years, a lot of them who didn't know anything else was kind of like, shit, where I'm supposed to go? What you mean I'm free?
We
Man,
might have stayed on the plantation.
Just
Like I
stay
said,
where they was at.
they
A
just
lot of them
stayed
stayed where they was at.
Yeah. They
They had nowhere to go.
When they didn't know, you can't read, you can't write, you don't.
You ain't got no land.
I mean, after we would have had land, after we didn't kill Massa and the family, we would have stayed there. And every white person come on the land, we just got to kill you when you come around, look around for master. You got to go. We got guns.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? For a little while, we got guns. We got to go get some more. But whoever come around, wow.
Come on. They gonna raise this shit out you.
They gonna raise this shit out that. Hey, every white person that come, they getting shouted.
Oh my gosh!
They get done shooting them goddamn cannons at the edge. like, man, let me out this motherfucker. Got cannons, dog. Y'all know it, man. For real, like look, I'm a proud man of color. But you got to understand, man, like, you know, we run down 200 deep and these motherfuckers got a goddamn Gatling gun, 2 of them on top of the hill. Shit. Yeah, we died for ours. Yeah, you died for sure. Because we
wasn't running nowhere. They would have had to come to the plantation. Like I said, after we killed Master, then we stand on the plantation. We gonna put the body somewhere, and this our plantation now.
Yeah. Sound like a solid plan. Let's just put it like this.
Every motherfucker come. Hey, Master went and left town. He be back.
Right.
How long we gonna be able to do that shit?
You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we kill everybody that pop up. Look for me. Where's your master, nigger? Pow.
I'm starting to think it's something wrong with them Negroes over there on the Johnson plantation. Nobody ever returns from there.
It's been 4 years since.
Right.
It's like 700 of them.
Right. Hey, shit now.
God damn it, what power? No, they were, man, they were systematic in the way that we've been handled in this
yeah, very true.
In this country. And so, like, I let, you know, it's armchair quarterbacks. I always quote my mom, because my mom picked cotton on a not a plantation, but a sharecropping situation, which we kind of fell into after slavery, right? And when we were young and we would go to Mississippi and she would show us these tremendous fields, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 miles. These rows go forever. And she say, that's where we used to pick at. We used to have to start right here and we had to go all the way to the end of that row and come back. And I'm talking about, this is massive. And it's 100-some degrees. And me and my brother would automatically say, I wouldn't have been shit. My mother used to tell us, you would have done whatever they told you. They gave you a Chinese name. He hung high. I'm like, okay. So like, you wouldn't have did shit. You got your ass out there and been picking cotton with the rest of us, singing some gospel songs. I'm like, damn. So it wasn't, you know, black people now think they bad and shit. We done seen Shaft and all these kinds of movies and shit. I'll kick a white man ass. Them some different kind of white people, man. Them motherfuckers cut your feet off and shit. You be just laying there with no feet, bleeding. They don't even take your ass to the hospital. I mean, it's not a joke. I'm sorry. Shay says Juice Lady, not Jessie Lady. Juice Lady was talking about capping for these other groups and other people's causes. She said, why do we?
No, he was saying that's when he said exactly, Juice Lady, that's what he was exactly.
Oh, okay. I'm behind in the chat room. My bad. I'm remedial. I'm sorry, y'all. Sorry.
Thank you.
She said very. Okay. He said exactly. It's Northeast Africa or Southwest Asia. That's the Middle East. No damn Middle East. Where's the Middle West, Middle North, and Middle South? Yeah, he said I never understood that either, Kev. So that's what them so-called Jews original from that's where they're from, the Khazarian Empire. He says Rail knows something about it as well. He held out on us because he didn't say. He was looking at the screen like, I don't know what that shit is. I was kind of amazed.
I ain't got my glasses on, so I couldn't see the word. I heard y'all trying to pronounce it, but
damn, so we didn't get it right. Did we say you said
he knew he was fucking up?
I don't even know what it is.
Was it Kazaran and Kazaran? Which one?
Kenosha.
I can't even tell you.
Razan.
Kiwaskum.
Sorry, I said it wrong. So damn.
I can't even tell you, but I do know, you know, like the origin of the Ashkenazis and shit like that. But as far as what y'all was saying before, Semitic is a language, and
Okay.
it's a language spoken by Africans and North Africans. You know, so that's why they say, how can you be anti-Semitic? Because first off, it's a language and the people that spoke that language, but that language and derivatives of that language is African.
Okay.
You know, like even when you so I watched this guy, it's a show called Esoterica on YouTube. Now this is a Jewish man. He's a rabbi. He wears his yarmulke, has his beard, little curly cues, and he looks at the Bible from a historical perspective. And historically, they have found out now, even in their culture, that the people that we call the Israelites were basically just Canaanites. Like now, there was no different people. There was Canaanites, and then some of them broke off and created a culture that eventually, because Israel wasn't even unified at one point in time. There was Judah, and then there was Israel. You know what I'm saying? And they even like battled each other, you know, because it was so basically like to get an idea that whole area, you got to look at the Bronze Age collapse, and that's basically when climate was changing, different people.
Don't tell me you froze again. Oh, that's voodoo. Don't blame it on me, y'all.
All this voodoo, you so goddamn.
Don't blame it on me. People gonna be like, "Kill, that's your phone." No, this shit is not my fault.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man, we gotta get real.
Why is it so funny when everybody freeze though? It shouldn't be this hilarious.
Well, y'all laugh at me if my microphone goes.
It always
We're the end
freezes
of
when I
it.
get to talking. That's why I be like, there you go.
Like I ain't gonna even say shit. Fuck it.
Right.
You know, I just pick up where I left off, you know. But look up the Bronze Age collapse, and then if you ever have a question about what the Canaanites look like, just go back to your Bible, and the Canaanites were supposedly the children of Ham, you know, because that's why they were saying, like, that's why they used to say black people were slaves because of the curse of Ham.
Right.
But Ham's kids were the Canaanites. So now they would agree that Ham was supposed to be the black dude, or where the Africans come from, and now they also agree that Israel was just the offshoot of Canaanites, but they all just was people in that group fighting. You know, it was a Bronze Age collapse. It was like Mad Max. Motherfuckers ain't had kingdoms, money, food, none of that shit. So what do you do when society collapse? You become yeah, and even that dude that I told you about, Esoterica, he will acknowledge that the ancient Israelites and people that formed Israelites, they were bandits. That's how they survived. They were nomads that looted and pillaged existing towns. But that's in the Bible. We just praise Jesus for for the victory when we read it.
Hey man, back up off Jesus, man. People, y'all be going too hard on my guy.
Hey, we got to shed bondage of all kinds, man, and we can't ever truly get to where we need to get to until we're able to release all that shit.
Look, I actually used to have a segment that I have theme music for, and I'm gonna play it. It was called "Shout Out to Jesus," and it was just me giving thanks to God.
Wow.
For all we used to do it every week. This is way back though. This is when Blog Talk days was. We used to do. I'm like, time for shout out to Jesus, and everybody just get a thanks to God for what had happened. That because we were happy that it was another week had passed and we all had survived and we were breaking bread together. And so I used to have one called what was the other? I might have been still. I don't think I was still doing it when you came. It was Coon of the Week.
Damn.
Was you on when we were still doing Coon of the Week? Okay. I used to do. I got theme music made up for all of these segments, and I used to play the theme. Yeah, Coon of the Week. I've had so many old school people say, "Dog, you still do Coon of the Week? You should bring that back." I stopped doing it after I had read some things that Minister Farrakhan said about how we talk to each other. And like it's very important not to speak bad about your brother or sister. If you're trying to enlighten them or inform them or redirect them, it's okay. But when you speak from a perspective of hatred,
Mm.
it was bad. And that was like one of the things he had with Dr. Khalid, Khalid Abdul Muhammad, was that he was saying like it's getting to the point where it's more about you just have a hate for white people. It's not like you really trying to enlighten black people, or like you satisfying your own kind of savage instincts. That's paraphrased. So if you're in the nation and you out there like, that ain't what the fuck happened. My brother, I'm a calling Outlaw Radio. You's a goddamn liar. I'm you do that shit too. Like, talk to us with some respect, right? Like, but yeah, that's real though. So I stopped doing coon of the week because I'm like, I'm talking about another black man, and as a black man, is a very serious accusation to accuse another black man of being a coon or Tom or a sellout. That's real business. Like them fighting words with that in the community.
Shit's
And
still funny.
It it was
Right.
It was funny. Because we used to go in on Sheriff Clark. I mean, oh my God, it used to be. We would have been canceled. This is prior to the Me Too. We would have been canceled like in 1 week, just off one segment of Coon of the Week, because people used to be on here like cutting up. My brother, everybody. Maybe we'll bring it back in a different form. We'll call it something else, right? The Unblack Person of the Week. No. That shit was sad. That sucked. Vince is talking to Courtney. He said it ain't easy, especially when our enemies are weaponized with a mission. Some of my military guys, we have codes. Code blue, possible PTSD intervention. Code red, come locked and loaded. Okay. I forgot Vince is a military guy. Sharon Evans said, word, shout out to Jesus. How you doing, my sister? I seen you when you tapped in. Thank you for chiming in. Vince said a coon is a coon. We need to know. And he said Sheriff Clark is definitely a coon.
Mm-hmm.
Is there room for that kind of language in today's, like, I mean, if we're talking about we trying to build, y'all tell me. I mean, because we can bring it back if y'all want to.
I mean, I feel like it was all types of things are cool when it's like Riley calling niggas gay. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I feel like us calling niggas coon is equivalent. You know, some things need to be said. Some things need to be stated and put out there with certain situations. So I feel like coons do need to be called out.
So it would have been cool for Riley to look at JP.
Don't you start that shit now. See, there you go.
I knew eventually you was gonna step in the mood. I knew she was gonna step in the trap and get snatched up in the tree. You see that hanging in the jungle. So Riley is looked up on, but nobody has a problem with Riley doing homo thugs and gangstalicious and all this kind of stuff. But when I hear a rapper actually talking about cracking another man in his own words, in my mind, all I'm hearing is Riley saying, "Nigga, you gay."
He was yes.
Okay, but you was defending him earlier.
So I didn't. First off, I didn't defend him. I said, let people, when you're asked a question, let them answer.
What he living his life. Let him live his life. He living his truth. Let him live in his truth. Let him live his life. That's how you was. Y'all tell me something. What's going on with the fat gay dude online who does the videos where the girls are walking down, the celebrity, whoever it is walking down the street, and he's like jumping up and down and behind them and pointing to them, and all of the black celebrities are doing videos with this dude. I don't know why this pops up on my timeline.
I don't know what you're talking about. Or
you'll see it. Jocelyn has done. Just Hilarious has done one where they're Mama D from. That was the first one I seen. Mama D from Love and Hip Hop, and she's walking across the street slow, dressed up, and then there's this huge black gay dude behind her, and he's in slow motion, and he's like jumping up and down and pointing to her like, "You go, girl! Like you so fabulous." And now I just see all of the celebrities doing these videos. I don't know. I thought y'all had.
Maybe it's somebody new they trying to promote. Maybe it's somebody there out there.
Yeah, but it's like, can I say it's one of the gayest things I've ever seen? Like, he's literally in slow motion, and you can just hear his voice without even hearing it. I'm just like, whoa, what's going on? I tell y'all, social media does a doozy on my brain, because you ever thought about how much time you waste looking at some dumb shit on social media? And like, why am I watching this? I literally watch people change horseshoes, and cows who have stepped on a nail and their hooves are infected, and the foot dude is like shaving off the hoof and it's infected. And then I catch myself like, why the fuck am I watching this? It's like watching Asian people eating all kinds of weird seafood. I can't understand what they're saying, but I sit there and watch this shit.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Y'all ain't never seen none of these videos, or I'm the only one who wastes time.
Hey.
I seen the guy fixing the hooves and putting the little rubber on the hooves and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm just Mexican candy.
Like, man, look at this. That hoof is infected, and then he scrapes it and squirts the.
Did you have munchy weed?
It's crazy, man. I waste a lot of time.
No,
Sonya
I ain't got
agrees with me. She says she's seen Mr. Fabulous on his videos with his jumping up and down. All right, y'all.
You doing?
I got two.
Where you at?
But I'm gonna leave one off. I don't think Courtney talking to us. Dion, what you got? What you got?
Kev, I'll be sending you a lot of stuff. I don't ever hear you talking about what Dion sent me. I always see you stuff off X and little stuff like that. Be trying to, enhance the knowledge. Do you ever listen to Michael Hotep on YouTube?
I don't typically. People don't usually send me shit to talk about on the show. I usually do the show myself. So I mean, I might.
It ain't gotta be. I don't think it's nothing to talk about. It's just.
It's kind of sound like I work for you. That's all. I was just saying. Like,
no. I'm not talking about
I be
stuff to
sending
talk
you
about.
Shit. Why you don't be talking about my shit?
No. Wait, listen. Hold on, Ken. Listen. I'm not talking about stuff to talk about on the show. What I mean, it just gives you a broader perspective. As far as okay, Michael Hotep is a historian.
Okay.
You understand? So he talks about African Americans before 1619. They think that that's when the first black people stepped shore in Jamestown, Virginia in 1619. But they have archaeological facts that black people were in America way before 1619, and he breaks down that timeline. You feel what I'm saying? Because before I'm not talking about none of us, but a lot of times when people, they didn't know that African Americans were here way before slavery. The only time our history is talked about, like you're a slave, Harriet Tubman, this, that, and the other, but we have a vast history. Just like I heard you guys, what the hell is wrong with this? Why this air ain't defogging my windows? Hold on real quick. I don't want to have no accident. But yeah, though, you know what I'm saying? So that's just like I heard you guys talking about Africa, and things like that. So the destruction of the black civilization with Chancellor Williams, he talks about that. And that's just like when I just heard you talking about Dr. Khalid Muhammad. I like Dr. Khalid Muhammad. No offense to you, but I like Dr. Khalid Muhammad way that I like Farrakhan, though. I feel like Dr. Khalid Muhammad, I feel like Farrakhan is kind of like, what's the guy's name? Elijah Muhammad. They kind of got a little whitewash there. You feel what I'm saying? No offense to any brothers of the Nation of Islam and things like that, but there's always a handler behind the scenes. And Dr. Khalid Muhammad didn't have a handler. That's why he was murdered. He just didn't all of a sudden catch cancer, but that's neither here nor there, though. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you got to have a handler with these white people because, and dealing with white America, and then I was hearing you talk about hate, and I try not to hate so much with the white people, though. And I don't like them. You know what I'm saying? I don't like them. Come on, goddammit! See, that's what I'm saying right there. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, though, so
I don't know.
I'm trying to go around a roundabout. And I got this 53-foot trailer, right? So if I go around a roundabout, I have to stride the middle of the roundabout to go around it, because if I don't, my trailer gonna swing to the right of me. So with somebody to the right of me, I'm saying go so I can go through the roundabout. It's a white person. I'm out here in Jackson, Wisconsin, of course. But I try not to have so much hate towards them. But the more and more and more I learn about who I am and who we are as a people, and learn about what they done to us. You understand what I'm saying? See, it's just, man, I'm telling you, like all of us have our own expertise as far as in this field. You understand what I'm saying? But it's just so much they have done. I was listening to something the other day where the white folks said, fuck the other white folks. Like, okay, I'm going to give you a small example, and I'm going to let you go because I know you're about to get ready to go. Public pool system. White folks didn't want black people with the public schools, in the public swimming pool, not the public school system, public swimming pools, because they didn't want black people to swim in public pools. So they said, okay, fuck it, we're going to close all the public pools down. But they didn't know by them shutting the public schools down, the public swimming pools down, not only did it affect African Americans, but it affected white people as well. So it's so much these people have done to try to belittle and try to hinder us that it hinders their own white people from making progress. It's just so deep. Matter of fact, I'm gonna see if I can send it to you tonight. And sometimes, you you could do it to me as well. We could, share information. I would appreciate it because when I take time to send you something, I was thoughtful enough, like, oh, this might enlighten my guy. You know what I'm saying on this? Because I know we be on the show and we spread knowledge and this, that, and other because this is a knowledgeable format to help other people. So when I do share something with you, I'm doing it to be like, okay, bro, listen to this. Just take time. And like you say, you live in the Powerverse.
Yeah.
What up?
First, there's a couple things we got to know here. First of
all
all,
right, go ahead.
You're not the only person that sends me stuff. People
okay,
send
all right.
this. I get, seriously, literally, it's not a flex. There's a multitude of people who send me stuff. Kev, did you see this?
Okay.
Hey, you should read this story. You should check this out. The second part is a lot of the stuff, like when you send me stuff, I've already done research on and I already know. I'm not saying I know everything, but I'm saying I've read several different theories of us being here before slavery. I've read about archaeological finds that said, yeah, no, we've been here. I've heard about there being at one point one big giant continent, one big landmass in which there were people everywhere of different, and then it broke loose. What was it called, Rail? It was
Pangea.
Pangea. Okay, it was called Pangea. And so there's theories. I've read these books, and where all of a sudden it broke, and then you get these different kind of countries. But then you say, well, why was this over here? We start talking about dinosaurs, where they go out and find fossils in the desert and say, well, this was a sea animal. This was a sea creature. Well, this used to be a lake. So there's all kinds of studies. When you send me stuff, I'll look at it and say, I probably won't watch some of it, but I watch most of it. Some of it, I'm just like, I know this already. I want to see it again. Now, Jesse is he's saying in the chat room, Michael Imhotep is a Democratic shield raccoon, unfortunately. Damn. That was your man's.
Yeah, I don't think
that was your man.
You know what?
Let me say this too. Let me say this too, because I totally disagree with you that Minister Farrakhan has a handler. And I don't speak on Elijah Muhammad because I didn't encounter him, wasn't alive when he was around. From what I've read about him, and I've done a lot of reading about him, I don't know if I believe he had a handler. But I definitely, when it comes to Minister Farrakhan, I don't think there's any black leader in the last 20 or 30 years that has done more and given more information to us than Minister Farrakhan. As far as Khalid, I don't think he died of cancer. I thought he had a brain aneurysm.
Dr. Khalid Muhammad supposedly died of cancer.
I thought he had a brain aneurysm. I'm just saying. And if you think about what happened with Dr. Khalid when he had the Million Youth March, and some brothers lost their lives because it wasn't necessarily set up the correct way and done in a certain way, right? Like, so that's one of his things. He tried to do this and it became a riot. You know, I mean, I'm sure you know that, right? Okay, so I'm just saying it's okay for us to not agree. Ain't no big deal. But you kind of was like, yeah, I seen your shit, so you can get smarter, young nigga. Read the shit. And I was like, hold on.
I ain't saying it like. Also, for the brother that said about Michael Hotep, even if Michael Hotep is a coon, he still is a historian. You feel what I'm saying? Okay. So I can learn something from anybody, and I do. I try to take something from any. Is bro okay? I try to take something from any and everybody. I mean, it could be a murderer that killed 50 people. I know not to kill 50 people. That's the example that I learned from him. So regardless if he a coon or whatever, just like Roland Martin a coon too, but he has some important facts. Man, come on, Roland Martin is probably on the real.
Well, we got Tavis Smiley here now on WNOV every day from 5 to 7. We got Tavis Smiley on the air. Y'all excited about this?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about that at the What's the Name, but I'm about to hang up and listen because I got the gal on the other end. I got her holding on.
Man.
I just want to call
holla
you.
At your boo. Holla at your boo.
love, man, love all y'all.
All right, my brother.
So,
I don't know. Listen. We ain't excited. Tavis Smiley is on the air now in Milwaukee. I didn't even know. You ain't heard this, Kamar? Every day.
No, I didn't. I ain't heard nothing. But I don't get a chance to listen to the radio much.
Oh, okay. You like a lot of people. Okay. Vince Tony, he says Tavis Smiley. Really? No, this is big news for WNOV. They have Tavis Smiley, man. And I got to make sure I get my radio out. I got to get an indoor radio. I don't have a radio in my house, but you can listen online, right? Yeah, you can listen online now. You ain't got to have no antenna. That's what's because I want to hear what he's talking about. I figured he was a little older, and I feel like our generation needs to be polarized. In our age, I would say even from 50 down to 30, 35. I think we need to be polarized because we're next up. So I think if you really want to get on fire in Milwaukee, you got to speak to this generation. It's just my thoughts on things. We finna close this out, so I got to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. Drake, Kendrick Lamar, they're saying it's over now. I want to know who y'all think won. I mean, we're all hip-hop dudes. We're all music dudes. Anybody out there listening that's about this hip-hop, Kamara, who do you think won this battle?
K-Dot.
Okay. And why do you say that?
Well, K-Dot just harder, man. He come harder. He got more influence.
Okay.
He got all the one-ups on Drake. You know what I mean? Drake got the fucked up history. You know what I'm saying? The black from the black face, and you know what I mean? All that shit, man. The baby mama, remember the baby mama from the prostitute?
The porn star, yes.
Who he tried to hide from or some shit.
Well, he said he was hiding the world from him, but yeah, I know.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? He got a fucked up history, man. You know, and K-Dot knew it, and he exposed that shit. I just read something somewhere today where his guy was saying he been planning that shit for months. He been wrote that. He said he been had that disc ready.
Okay.
That's what they say. What I just heard on the one of them shows on YouTube from one of his people.
Yeah, it's so much. Okay, it's rap, but so much more stuff came out. I feel like in this battle, it was a question of fatherhood, who's raising their children, who's a pedophile, who's really, really shallow in terms of I got to go get my abs done and get a BBL. It was about our appeal to each other. Even this light skin, dark skin thing came up, right? And so it was a whole bunch of different energy swirling with this battle. And yeah, it was rap, but it got to be at one point it was a conversation piece because it was like, well, hold on, what about this? What about that? What about this? Go ahead.
I got another perspective. Remember Cat Williams did that interview and he said in 2024, he said it's going to be a lot of people that's going to be exposed.
Right.
You know what I mean? And this could be another one of them situations where it's like, you know what I mean? Because there's a lot of people in the industry that held on to their integrity.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And I feel like that may be a secret society now. You know what I'm saying?
Right. The Real Nigga Association.
You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, look,
RNA.
we're gonna let the cat out the bag this year, y'all.
It's
get your raps ready.
we were just complaining and listen to me. If you're not really a hip hop kind of person, like as I know Kamar is, I know I am real. I know yours is different, but you still like really in tune with the music and the culture. So if there might be people who say I don't care about that. Well, okay, well, we're not talking to you. But I'm saying when we talk about messages, because we spoke about influences and messages earlier in the show, right? Mm-hmm. And the knock for a lot of people on Kendrick was like, oh, he's kind of like a hippie, he's a weirdo, like, you know, whatever. He's a backpacker. And the thing about it became that what do we want to hear? Because Drake is all the glitz and the glamour and the glory and the songs that get you up and you're in the club and you know, and all that's false. All that's just like a false reality. So for me, it came down to who's saying the more relevant things in their music that they make every day, aside from the diss record, right? But then when it came to actual shit said in the battle, I feel like Kendrick clipped him a bunch of times. It was just like, damn. And
can't even say the word nigga no more.
I mean, he just so right. Just man, you break. I'm still listening to Euphoria, finding new stuff on it. Like, damn, oh no, I missed that. So Drake didn't really have. I mean, Drake's voice wasn't really for this. His voice was annoying in this battle. I feel like, I mean, his voice he came off. Can I say he came off kind of feminine? Like right now, I used to like his music, but I feel like his latest music is all more moving towards a more effeminate sound. I like.
Yeah, he got that Kanye.
Well, yeah. Well, he was fighting 2 or 3 people at the same time, but I think in this battle, Kendrick Lamar won. And two months ago, we were talking about hip hop was dead and the music sucks and nobody want to hear anything and the sales were down. So at the end of the day, it did the same thing that all the comedian beef did for black comedy. It's more motherfuckers with Netflix specials now. It's more motherfuckers getting money off YouTube for content now.
Cat Williams Cat Williams got a funny one on there too.
Well, I'm halfway through it. I'm halfway through it. Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it.
Okay, no, I was just gonna say he went live. That was dope.
That's the one I'm talking about. Don't spoil it. Come on.
I ain't telling no jokes, man. I'm not telling no jokes on it.
I thought you spent it.
No, man, I ain't gonna do that. I wouldn't do that.
You know how black people be like, oh,
I want people to go.
One.
You know what I mean? It's that anticipation of what he gonna say is everything. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't do that.
Just tell me this: is
how
it funny?
It is how he was able to go live on Netflix.
Just tell me this: you watched the whole thing. Is it funny? Because it started off and then it was building up. When I paused and I said, "Okay," because I was kind of waiting. And so
he got to the meat.
Okay. Well, no Diddy, no Diddy, no Diddy,
Right,
no Diddy. Got your ass. No Diddy, no Diddy. Rail, who won?
You know me, I don't like. Well, I'm not really a fan of either one of them.
Okay.
But I mean, from what I've seen, it seemed like the shit Kendrick said had more receipts. Like, you know what I'm saying? I seen that picture resurface of Drake and blackface and just all kind of shit, you know.
Drake kissing a little girl.
Well, that's the most disturbing footage of him on stage with the 17-year-old girl. And he's telling her, like, he's hugging on her and he's telling her he liked the way her breast felt against his chest. I'm sitting here like, yo, he did put her back in. I don't want to go to jail, but you're so fine. I'm just like, and I'm like, dog, this is awkward. Mm-hmm. And even the last diss, not to cut you off, Rel, I'm sorry, but even the last diss song that he did last night, at the end, people are saying, well, he bowed out. He kind of he gave up because at the end, he's like, man, I don't even want to battle you no more and all this. And I'm like, I need for Kendrick to keep coming at him until he just absolutely does not ever respond again. Like, finish him, right? Like you got him down, finish him. So
hey, I seen a meme on Facebook. I don't know how true it is. Like, maybe it was some real shit, but they said this is an aerial view of Google Maps
of his house,
of Drake's house, and it got Kendrick's house on there. Like, it says Kendrick's house on Google Maps.
Yeah, these dudes went all in. Like, people were saying, like, just going too far. And I've never thought I'd hear people say rap beef can go too far. I'm like, where y'all been?
Ice Cube wrote no Vaseline.
Tupac wrote hit him up over 30 years
you mean ago. Go too far?
Quick did dollars and cents. I put up Get In Where You Fit In the other night. That's actually them dissing Pooh Man, and they destroy him. Like, it's rap beef has always been ruthless. Like, you got to think some rap beefs in motherfuckers' careers.
Yep.
We had MC Shan on here, and almost 40 years later, just every time I reference KRS-One, you just seen the anger building up in his face. And I KRS-One is one of my favorite rappers, like, all time. So every time I would say, we talking about influences, he was getting mad. Like, well, let me ask you a question. So you like Kane and you like Chris? I made all of them niggas. That's my MC Shan voice. That's how he sounded. But yeah, I think Kendrick won. Right. But if you had to say somebody won, Rel, you said Kendrick, right?
Yeah, Kendrick. But you know, it made me think about that Mount Olympus by Crit. When prior to that, he was like, you know, everybody brought up that Kendrick verse that he ain't never really even dissed me on. You know, so like you know, that's who I listen to. I listen to Crit. But like my thing is like all that favorite rappers shit like that. Like my favorite rappers ain't even rappers, which is crazy. Like I think CeeLo will smoke pretty much anybody in the game with his lyrics, and then to turn around and sing. You know what I'm saying? Like that. I listen to
somebody
people
make
like
a
that.
response song about him dropping ecstasy pills in women's drink. Then that the battle will be over. Like I don't know. I mean, I get you. I like CeeLo too.
I mean,
I
I'm
like
saying
Old
like
Boogie.
lyrically, not like throwing shots and shit. I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah.
saying,
CeeLo a bad dude. Yeah.
yeah, lyrically. I mean, like even T-Pain to me, I think T-Pain lyrically, he's very creative, and then he'll turn around and sing.
I
You know,
heard
so
he's
I'll
opening
be
some kind of
listening
music
like,
school here.
In Milwaukee.
I
oh
heard
yeah,
T-Pain was
yeah.
opening up, starting a music school here in Milwaukee.
Well, he rap about. I mean, he's been here. He rocked with Jasmine, and so they were doing Wisconsin Fest. So that don't surprise me. I don't see T-Pain being able to beat nobody in a battle, though. I think he's just too goofy.
Have you ever heard him like
He can
lyrically?
rap.
He get mad,
He
like,
get down.
I've never heard him mad. No, I've never heard him mad.
oh,
He
okay,
was another one of them singers that was a rapper first.
yeah, like I like people like that. He'd be like, or like me, shit, you know me. I say the greatest rappers don't ever be in the conversation because they don't care about being the greatest rapper. Like Devin the Dude, he too high to worry about who the fuck think he the best,
Devin
and
is
he'll
the
turn around and
dopest.
sing.
Devin is the dopest, but I wouldn't put Devin in a battle. Devin is the dopest, but I wouldn't put
He
him in a battle.
probably eat somebody up just because
You know
he's
the
so
thing about
laid
a
back and
battle though,
thinking.
like your track record got to be intact.
Yeah.
Especially these days. You know what I'm saying?
Styles make fights.
You can't have no sweet Facebook page, no sweet pictures and shit on your Facebook page, and then decide you want to get into a battle with a
I'm gonna
nigga.
diss him.
You know what I'm
I thought
saying?
the whole. I'm sorry, Kamar. I'm not trying to
No,
cut you
it's
off.
all good. It's all good. Go ahead.
I thought the whole thing about this whole battle was for me, just because I'm old. Once again, like I'm saying, and I know a lot of this music ain't even for me, anyways. But it came down to who is the better rapper. Wasn't about who the girls like. Wasn't
Right.
about who had money. It wasn't about who had the most streams. It was about who was the better rapper. And I thought Kendrick was closer to Andre 3000 than Drake could ever be.
Oh
At
yeah.
one point early in his career, Drake was really lyrical. You said, man, that
Yep.
boy got some bars, but he's abandoned that a long time ago and kind of adjusted to the change. And you know, rap music right now ain't really about lyricism. And
Right.
that was like the biggest difference between the two. And they represented that. But everybody feels like Kendrick is more from the turf than Drake is. And so it's just kind of like Pretty Boy
He
against,
definitely is.
yeah, you know, and he's from Canada. So, you know, I thought he won too. Now let me catch my chat room
Hey,
before we go.
Kendrick got Compton on his back.
Absolutely.
Like with street politics and everything. Like he got
Well, the
Compton
West
on his
Coast.
back. Yeah.
And West Coast got, you know, they like,
Well,
man.
I mean, I was just talking about his own hood politics
Yeah.
and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he thorough. He ain't nothing you're gonna be able too much you can say about dog.
I mean, Whack 100 kind of a bait and switch because at first he was saying, you know, Drake is winning, but but he's also always speaks about the legitimacy of Kendrick Lamar's street credibility, or you know, his authenticity in terms of being really from the hood, like, and being around nothing but gang banging and crazy shit growing up, and him not even being a gang bang. He's not a gang banger.
Right.
You know, but he's definitely somebody who knows what's going on in the hood. He can tell you where to go and not to go.
Right.
Shay, he says we have been here since Columbus 1492 and 1619. I believe that. Why would I not believe that? Because listen, look how Africans, look at the DR. Look at all of the islands, the islanders that look like us. Hell, look at dark-skinned Cubans and South Americans and Spaniards. Like, I do believe black people have been way outside of Africa. I mean, if you invented really basically scientific knowledge and understanding, who's to say you ain't built boats and navigated the seas and all that? There's too many people who ended up. How y'all get black in the islands? Some African dude come through there on the ship with about 7 more brothers and just knocked everybody down. Now y'all some kind of Latin. We're Afro Latino X. Look at Puerto Ricans. Come on, man. Them ain't nothing but DeBarges. I'm just saying, like, so black men, of course, black men, we've been here before. And if we were and we had any sort of civilization, do you really expect for our government to allow us to learn that truth? That would give us even more grounds for reparation. Like, wait a minute, hold on. Let me tell you what. So, yeah, I believe that. I'm not what Dion was saying is he does send me a lot of information and I watch a lot of it. Sometimes it's just like me rehashing though. Cause I've heard this before. I've seen this before. I've read this before. So I'd be like, okay, I don't bring it to the show. Like Dr. Ahmed Hukamara was on YouTube saying, I don't be knowing them dudes' names like that. And then it always be funny because what was the little brother who came on the show who was so in love with Courtney? He was calling us from Maryland. What was it? Hiri or Usharara, something like that.
No idea.
But he was loving and a follower of Brother Polite, right? And so that was pointed out, and it was just like, gotta be careful how you follow people.
But Dr. York, he was a follower of Dr. York.
And Polite, though. Yeah, Dr. York. Yeah. Okay,
yeah.
There we go. You're right, John. Black Thought is fire. He always has been. I just felt like he just was never put on the right beats. Let me see. Jesse Parrish, not to knock the roots. Said, yes, I read Destruction of the Black Civilization by Chancellor Williams. See, I don't know who Chancellor Williams is. He said, I'm hella behind like 17 minutes. I probably am too with this chat room. Sonia Thor said, this new rap music, they don't know what they're rapping about. And, we got us old heads got a real crazy relationship with rap music right now. Because we complain about how bad it is, but when something good come along, we dismiss that too. I've heard a lot of niggas like, I don't give a fuck about no Kendrick versus Lamar, and then Kendrick versus Drake. And Courtney, who won the battle between Drake and Kendrick Lamar?
Kendrick Lamar.
Okay. What's your reasonings for going with Kendrick?
Kendrick Lamar was spitting that hot fire like Dylon.
You know, sipped her some pork.
You're right.
No, but I mean, he was kicking some real shit. And I mean, really, I think yesterday I sat and I started with Meet the Grounds, and it just was like, ooh, nigga. You know what I'm saying? It was just.
But you female, we would have thought you would have liked Drake more.
Why? Because it's all. Why?
Because he's a pretty boy and all the girls love Drake. They love
and like
Drake.
he said, it's really just because the nigga got a beard. Remember how everybody was saying he was so ugly till he got the beard? Like, you know what I'm saying? That's his wig.
Really?
I didn't know that. Yeah. That's why he kept it. He never took it back away because nobody really thought he was attractive when he got that beard.
I did not know that. I thought all the girls loved him. I figure if you light skin, you win.
No, you don't. Who told you that? Just like it's ugly light-skinned chicks. All light-skinned chicks ain't cute. It's definitely some ugly ones.
Part of it comes down to that I usually don't say to even other brothers, like, you think he look good? Like, we don't really have that conversation. Like, oh, he should, man. And one thing about Drake, boy, he be looking good. Like, if somebody,
what niggas be knowing when niggas be ugly though? Like, y'all don't say when niggas cute, but y'all be knowing when niggas be ugly. So it's
like, damn, dog ugly is a motherfucker. Right? Like, we will call an ugly nigga out, but a motherfucker won't say, hey, he handsome. Like,
right. Y'all just
ugly ass nigga.
Funny looking ass. Man, we ain't shit, man. We ain't shit. It's a pleasure just to be able to point that out sometimes. You're right, Courtney. That's a good point.
Niggas is haters, dog.
Yeah, man, because we sure will pop that line, too. Like, hey, where your guy at? Which one, the ugly ass nigga you be with? You?
Ugly folks.
But you don't ever be like, where your guy at? The handsome dude. Dude, man, he always be geared. He always look good. You be like, hold on, bro, what you say?
Hey, motherfucker, a nigga name will be ugly folks, bro.
Right.
Right.
Ugulan and shit.
Oh my God.
What a funny looking ass dude. That's hilarious, man. No ugly folks.
Some haters, man.
Hey, you can't win, man. You can't win. If I walk down the street and I'm swole, people say that nigga been locked up. If I walk down the street and I'm skinny, they say dude must be sick.
We gonna cry.
Right, he Kev on that shit.
He on that shit.
He walk, what's popping, man?
Man, I'm over here dying like a motherfucker laughing, talking about ugly folks. God, yeah, everybody know who ugly folks is.
Right.
Yeah, man.
That's it, buddy. Oh my
Oh man,
God.
black people will put an adjective on your ass. You talking about ugly ass John? Yeah, you know John with a big ass face. Like,
Right.
You
Oh
know,
my God.
you know,
Big,
back in the day,
big.
you know, when you saw Billy Williams and shit, you know, you'll think to yourself, well, damn, you know, he probably be getting all of the bitches when he nigga think he pretty as shit. Nigga, you thought he was kind of good looking too, but you ain't gonna say this
you ain't
shit,
gonna
though.
say the shit, no. You better not say that shit. Like, go on, man, go and talk to her. You know you fine. Like what?
Hey, court, right there, the motherfucker. We'll talk about that little ugly motherfucker.
Hey, or a motherfucker crack a joke about it. Motherfucker crack a joke about him. Oh, pretty ass nigga, you go over there, holler.
Pretty boy ass.
Right.
Yeah, that's how we say it. Oh, you a pretty boy. You know, dude, a pretty boy and whatever.
Right. Let's
I
just
gotta
crack
watch
a joke
that
about it. That's about it.
So nobody ever stops you
Hey,
when
man.
you say that and be like, so what you think he fine or something? Like, you be like, hey man, you know what I
Right.
mean, dog. You know what I mean.
The nigga light skinned.
Hey, see a nigga walk up on you.
Too funny.
They say, man, damn nigga, you swole. Is he really trying to tell you got a nice body? Nigga, I see you swole. We gotta watch what the fuck we say to each other, man. Be like, who
I
was he
gotta
with?
go, man. This shit, I'm over here crying for real. I gotta go, dog.
Man, peace out, man.
Yeah.
You never thought about it like that, man. Brothers, you know, dude who he be with, swole dude. Like, so you notice his body, right? Like, you know. I'm glad we don't do that, though. I'm glad that's not a cultural norm. Like, because I wouldn't be able to take it if I walked up in my home and said, damn, Kev, you looking good today. Oh, bruh, what the fuck? Now, if you come in, your fade is off or something like, dog, what the fuck is up with your hair, nigga? You looking funny in a motherfucker. Yeah, you killed that one.
Now niggas will be like, oh yeah, them shoes fly.
Or I like how you put that together, my nigga.
You know what I'm
You know what I'm
saying?
saying?
Niggas will give a motherfucker a compliment.
Right.
But it ain't gonna be nothing on the looks, nigga. Nothing on the looks.
Be careful with
Ugly
the
ass
compliment
nigga.
too, though.
That's all you gonna be.
It be shoes, maybe your outfit. It don't be.
It gotta be your shirt, your hat, your coat, or your shoes. Because a nigga can say, man, where you get them pants from? I like how you wearing them. What?
Right.
Man, you always look good when you wear them jeans. Like,
yeah,
nigga,
you don't
what?
compliment the pants.
No, the pants. You can't say the pants unless you see nigga got on some leather pants. You be like, I see you got the leathers on. You can't really come out and say, every time you wear them jeans, you be looking good. Like, no. Now the reverse is if they tight, faded, tore up, dirty. You say, hey, this nigga come with these dirty ass jeans on. I was saying, come on, just left here. You know he got his good jeans on today, man. That nigga was looking good. I don't want to live in that world. Now y'all see where I'm so let's leave some shit alone.
Look,
she just started some shit, just asking the question and shit.
I was just giving y'all the answer. So that's all
right, no doubt. No, that's it right there. That's $1 million. We can close on that one. I'm cool. Like now you got me. When I see brothers now, I gotta even think like, what is your mind saying that you ain't saying, right? Like you driving down the street, like, man, that nigga got a nice chest. Like, no, he was swole.
So did y'all say Kendrick won?
I believe Kendrick won. I was hoping that Kendrick didn't get overcome by the machine and the glitz and the glamour, and you know, but he didn't, because at the end of the day, hip hop comes from the streets, and so the streets really still dictate what's hot in hip hop. It just go through corporate America now and it gets processed, but the streets still call the shots. Go ahead, Kamar.
We talked about this the other day too. You know, I mean, Kendrick, he liked that battle rap stuff. He know it bring out the best in hip hop. You know what I'm saying? It show who the best lyrically, who can get at who, and that was one of the original elements of hip hop, battle rap. You know what I'm saying? I don't think nobody got to worry about him being upset to where he want to do something or, you know what I'm saying? Because to him, it's just that. We referenced that song he did with Big Sean a while back, you know, and where he got at all the rappers, you know, and he said it back then. He was like, man, I don't mean no harm by it. This for hip hop. You know what I'm saying? He said, I want everybody to get at me.
Yeah.
Put me to work.
2024 is the year of beef, because Even Chris Brown and came out and dissed the shit out of Quavo, and the R&B singers are dissing each other now. Like Monique
Chris
Brown
said,
beat
from out of
niggas up. He's
nowhere.
a different type of R&B nigga. Like he's gonna slap you in the club. He gonna bust you in the head with a bottle. He gonna nigga, let's fight. Like he's
yeah, he is a little, yeah. That
wanna
little
fight
dude
you.
is a wild little young cat, man. He got money and
Got
he's
body bow.
right.
Singing nigga.
Yeah.
I mean, he getting old now. He ain't really that. I mean, for y'all would say young, but we.
Well, yeah, you know we
30s
gonna say,
leaning towards 40s now. We getting older. He gotta.
yeah, everybody is young to us. You like
Yeah.
that's a young nigga right there. A nigga be 50 and shit. Be like, that nigga is still a baby. But Chris Brown is really talented, but he has always been a wild dude. And so they talk about what he like. When I looked at that picture of this, I never meant to say this out loud, but I'm there now, so I might as well say it. The picture of Rihanna back in the days, right? I said, dude, I can't believe this dude did that shit to her. What a punk ass nigga. And then they said she took the keys to the Lambo and threw them.
In the hood.
Was it in the hood? I thought they was on the highway. And
They was in the hood.
Damn, not the highway.
Like, dog, why the fuck would you do that? Like,
he didn't deserve that. But I was just like,
man,
like,
she didn't deserve to do that to herself.
Nah, and it's unfortunate that he did all. I don't think that was all unnecessary. It was totally wrong. But me back then, when it happened to being a little bit more immature than I am now, when he said, well, she threw the Lambo keys, I was like, oh, okay. But, you know, it was wrong of me. But I still was like, damn, you did throw the Lambo keys, though, right? Let's not leave that out the story. It was like when Ray Rice's wife spit in his face in the elevator. You didn't have to knock her out, but what do you do if somebody hawk a loogie in your face?
I heard she was fighting them too. I heard wasn't that she threw the keys and she was also fighting. I mean, but also we weren't there. We'll never really know. We'll just know what motherfuckers want us to know, you know. So
we just know he slept her in the elevator.
Probably wasn't the first fight either.
I absolutely not, Kamar. It couldn't have been. That can't be where the problem started at. Right? But and that man lost his whole everything, you know. And people say rightfully so. I never think it's cool to hit a woman. Let me say that. But some women do certain things where you don't have no choice. Thank God I've never dealt with a woman who does that, who pushed the line where it's like I gotta get the soup bone out. Because it wouldn't be a pretty, you know, it would be bad. And so, but man, it's just crazy. Chris Brown, wild dude. I'm wondering who the next beef going, because we got the comedians, athletes been going at each other forever. Now we got the rappers. Monique is really getting at. We ain't got really no black talk show host, but Monique said Oprah stank. You know, she said Gail stank. Like, Monique, why are you doing this? Like,
she can't stand Oprah now, but I thought she said something about Oprah too. She can't stand him and she don't care.
She said Gail stink. She said she been around him and Gail stank. I was like, damn. She's on. She might. Just because you're rich don't mean your ass can't stink.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And then to close all the time foolery, Jamie Foxx said the only reason he went and got him another blonde-haired white girl is because he was trying to kill the clone rumors. Because people were saying he was cloned. But I'm like, Jamie Foxx, I've never seen Jamie Foxx with a black woman and he wasn't on the show.
Don't even make sense.
He loves white women. That's what he's always done.
What that got to do with the clone?
Right. Like, that don't even make sense. Like,
because, you know, people were saying he got cloned. Like,
but what that got to do with getting a white woman? Like that.
He said people expected that was the only way he could show that it was still him, because, you know, he loved white women. So he went and got him another white woman. Because if he got a black girl,
to go get a white woman too. We would expect the clone to do whatever the fuck. If he don't shut the fuck up, that don't even make sense.
Clone mean the clone. Like
exactly.
The clone would go and get a white girl then.
It's in the People's News Network. It's in the People's News Network. God damn, everybody jumping.
Happy we just ended.
No, we ain't jumping on
you a little bit.
I'm saying, you know what I mean? If it's a clone, that means the clone is supposed to be the same as the real person, right?
Exactly.
Same type of thought, same all that shit. So the clone would go and get a white girl.
Right.
Feel a lot of heat coming off the end of that couch.
He just sounds so foolish, and then people just
fuck up, Kev. That don't even make sense.
That was some dumb ass shit he said.
Kev, shut your dumb ass up. All right, my bad. We're finna close it out. Kendrick says, I'm sorry, Jesse says Kendrick Lamar won the battle hands down and did a good job representing FBA hip hop culture. I like the way that sounds. I think that's cool. I want to shout out the panel podcast. They liked our page the other day. And I got this notification and I went, who's this? And I was watching a show. And so I just was like, what's the call-in number? Because I was trying to get in on the conversation. And the sisters is 2 sisters and 2 brothers, as far as I could see. I think Sarita Valmont was actually a guest on there. And she the girl said, okay, Outlaw Radio said, what's the call-in number? They explained they didn't have a call-in number. She was like, I don't know who that is. And the young brother said, no, they good. I rock with them. I checked them out. But the funny thing he said is they just an older version of us.
Dang.
That's our image.
Old like that.
Well, according to you
gotta watch a little bit more.
But that was to me, that's the best compliment a young person can give you.
Yeah, it is.
You know, like no.
I mean, like if we watch a little more, he'll see how much deeper we are, though.
Yeah, well, you know, but we are some old
different areas and shit.
Yeah. I am, Courtney. You're not. I
I'm
absolutely own
You're
that
all
tag.
no.
I'm happy to be here. I'm seasoned. I'm
happy you're here as well.
Mentally, this is the most perspective I've ever had, and I wouldn't want to go back to a limited perspective. So I'm cool with just where I'm at. I mean, it's time to sit your ass down. You can do it for 30, 40 years. Like, sit your ass down somewhere, right? Enjoy the sunset. Talk to them birds and squirrels in your yard like you be talking about. And I do. I still be talking to them, right? But we're going to get out of here, Kamar. It's Monday, first show of the week. So you got anything else popping besides House of Vitality?
Yeah, first Saturday for the Friday market. I'll be down at the Friday market Saturday. Yeah.
Now, when is the next event you having?
The first Saturday of June.
Okay, I need to know the date. Let's start.
June 1st of 2024.
June 1st. Okay.
So
I want to start prepping right now.
First of the month.
I don't have to come back down there. You can make sure I get the same spot, right?
Yep.
Okay, we good. Okay, so I don't know. Real, you'll be
Outlaws. We get what we want around here. Come on now.
Well, now you go down there with all your little shit, and they be like, somebody else got this shit.
Hey, no.
Call Kamar. My bad, Kev. I meant to tell you.
As long as don't nobody rent that space out, we good.
Okay.
And I doubt if anybody finna rent it out. It's a hard spot to do something.
It's dope. It's dope. I don't know what the purpose they built that room for, but it's really a great. Only in the daytime. Like I wouldn't do a show in there at night. Easy prey. I mean, like damn. My bad. Rail, you got anything popping this week?
No, just the usual. You catch me on TikTok, Higher Frequency, HIGHER FREAKUENCY on all platforms, TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram.
Okay. Juice Lady, you rocking with the Village or what you got? You always got a lot going on. What you got going on?
I do be having a lot going on, but guess what? It's the last week of school, finals and all that different stuff going on. I got to go do like an artistic piece, something about going in the woods and, dance and taking my children with me. And then I got to write an artistic statement about it. So I'm not really sure what I'm going to do, but I'm going to do something and then create a story about it. And boom, it's art. You know what I'm saying? That's what you do. It's art. But I don't have anything coming up. May 18th, I do have an event with community advocates. The Village will be down at Cathedral Park from 10 a.m. to noon. At 11 a.m. will be some mindful movement led by me. I have a table there. Like you said earlier about Sarita Valmont, she'll be there hosting the table, a few other people. It'll be different stations, different wellness stations. May 18th. So we'll bring this back up next week. Yeah.
Okay. That's dope. I always talk about the fact that everybody on the show does their thing individually. So it's like ain't nobody on here like, I don't know shit. Like everybody got their thing that they're doing. So what I like I said, I had so much fun at this event. I'm now looking for a space or a location so we can start doing some live shows, more live shows. And I'm just looking. So that's gonna come. I'm gonna keep my virtual thing because it's so convenient. And Lord knows it's a pain in the ass to have to break all this shit down. I know all y'all see is one microphone. There's a whole lot more shit to this that has to be set up. So, but I am looking for a venue somewhere we can do at least once or twice a month and just have people and do a live show and bring guests in.
You can do it there.
Well, that's what we haven't had that conversation yet. So I didn't know, and I don't know what the cost would be. So it's definitely something that's been crossing my mind. I like that location is dope, but the timing has to be right and the date. Come on, we have to have a conversation about it. But I'm definitely going to bring more of a live back to what it was before a lot of y'all probably started watching or listening to it. But I'm definitely gonna bring that back because I think people just thought I could only do this shit like sitting in my basement, like on a computer. They didn't realize, no, motherfucker, I really do this shit. I must have interviewed like 15, 16 people in a row. It's 3 hours. I spoke nonstop for 3 hours. To people, about people, at people. I just remember watching myself in the garage the other night, just laughing like, I'm a bad motherfucker with that microphone. That was just a conversation I was having with myself. But I think you should have conversations with yourself like that periodically and look at yourself in the mirror and say, I'm a bad motherfucker. I did that shit. These motherfuckers can't fuck with me. Kamar always tell me, stop trying to be so damn humble, nigga, and accept that shit. So I'm working on that too. Like,
you the shit. Accept.
Look at them, look in the mirror sometimes and say, he's a bad motherfucker. Fuck what they talking about. And once I heard the news that Milwaukee won't Tavis Smiley, they don't want Outlaw Radio, it just set me on fire. I'm like, now you know what? If I lose, I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna lose in a gracious manner. I'm gonna make sure that everybody in this city understand that this is the best thing going. It ain't gonna be because you can look at our shit and say, well, they should have, they did. Just gonna be like, no, you motherfuckers just didn't get it, right? Is above your head, like a bulimic on a seesaw. That's what Nas said one time. I thought that was a great bar. Over your head like a bulimic on a seesaw. Okay. Whatever, man. Stay straight, man. Keep your head on the pivot, man. Be careful out here in these streets. Take care of yours. Talk to your babies, man. Love on your babies. Love on your people. Most importantly, love on yourself. I'll see y'all Wednesday, Outlaw Radio. I holla.
Peace.